He's attempted this season. That includes the one he just made, his 80th make of the year.
Yeah, 50% of his field goal attempts are from behind the arc.
Raynaud off the mark from long distance. Blake's tried to get it down low. Medley got a hand on it. Here's Raynaud. Raynaud can't find his rhythm early thanks to good defense from Gillespie, but Agarwal,
Stanford inside attack.
The Cardinal just 2 of 7 right now from the floor early on. Raynaud from long distance. Around and down. The big fella will do that. Ball spits out to Blake. Slob for Raynaud. Comes back down with it. Gathers, goes up, no good. Rico Gillespie brings down another rebound.
Yeah, just bad shot, comes back, gets the steal, and stops and pops. That's what they're worried about in the Cardinals, their point of emphasis. Finding Sullinger.
Raynaud says, anything you can do? Raynaud directs traffic. Moving from the mid-corner. How about that spin move? Couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah, but again, not getting to that. Well, right now it's just the energy. I mean, look at that. On that pick, just the charge out there, getting them off balance. And it looks like Raynaud, he's settling.
My daddy said the devil was coming.
Who we gonna kill it?
Under his wing, look at him trying to polish him down on his block.
Sellers. Raynaud. We're seeing nice defense from Rico Gillespie all game. Get it underneath to Gillespie for the jam. Raynaud walks the tightrope, finishes.
Better, stronger, more aggressive.
Trying to improve on that 8-0 run. Golden Flash hasn't scored in 3.5 minutes. Raynaud would like to score right now.
Raynaud stopped on that block. He let out some sort of
Raynaud on Hornby. Spins, left hand short.
Yeah, he just saved that for the summer. He about 0 for 5 for these
Sellers. The intensity defensively by the Golden Flash has been impressive. Raynaud, too strong, and there's Cameron tacking it back out. 6:30 left in this one. Raynaud with the shot fake and Band-Aid over his right eye. Sullinger out. Six minutes left. Max Raynaud taking matters into his own hands on Hornby.
Yeah, great play call there. That horned high set.
That is a critical stop for the Cardinals. Off the bench and into the game is Thompson missing the three. Collecting the rebound and putting it up and in is Raynaud.
Can have points and no one bigger than that triple right there by Sullinger. What has this kid got now? Is that 7 3-point shots tonight?
7 of 10 from deep, and Raynaud, maybe one too many there, is 3 of.
All I do is just get away from the basketball. Don't even challenge a 3-point shot here.
Sellers, length of the floor. Here's Raynaud. Will hoist right away. Buries it. They'll have to foul right away.
Club, that 20-10-50 club. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 53s. Only 2 players, as you see him slamming one inside. Only 2 players are in that club in the history of D1 basketball.
Agarwal controls again. The 1-2 punch of Agarwal and Raynaud so far. Showing to be a knockout blow early on off the window. 7-up in early Stanford.
Left block when he catches one throughout the game. It is a thing of beauty.
Agarwal walks the tightrope, drops it off for Raynaud. Jump hook splash.
He's got that. Don't think that that's a fluke. That little right for Cardinal go inside for any buckets. They've limited him to outside 3-point shots that have not fallen.
Raynaud.
Raynaud said, "You shall not pass. Get that weak shot out of here."
Showing out on the defensive end and the offensive end. Wanted the opportunity to 3-point play.
Team needs him to do. He's a team guy, and you got to have dudes like that that may sacrifice parts of their game to make the team better.
Guess what? That guy will make a team better in the end. Raynaud shoots 6 threes a game. And that is his 63rd tray of the season.
That's exactly the way they play at the NBA level now.
Ball spits out to Gieler. Euro step, finds Raynaud. Do we have another three? Second chance opportunity.
They're hanging over the court, especially back in the mid-'80s. That sideline was so close to the floor. Their arms, as they put them out, were darn near on the floor.
Gieler. Almost
with that basketball is what I'm saying, underneath there on the defensive glass.
Akpara fires it inside to Raynaud with the quick trigger off the glass.
You know, Coach Newman said he...
To shatter records and rewrite history.
They need one more rebound to have the all-time record for to gain an advantage and get below the free throw line. If you can put pressure on the defense, put that ball below the free throw line, good things are going to happen for you.
Raynaud dials from long distance.
To the low post.
Raynaud facing a double team, threads the needle. Two opportunities, no good. Coming out of the Packers, Washington.
They just can't shoot straight tonight. I give credit to the Stanford defense, but maybe this quick turnaround time. They're only shooting 25% from the field. Even with all the shots that they've taken in and around that paint, came in. We were playing. I had good 20 points and didn't have 10 boards, but we played Arkansas and they whooped us pretty good. And it's hard realizing you don't get to put on that jersey one more.
Entre Duke y North Carolina.
El giro, el intento falla, lo buscaba Raynaud, Maxi Raynaud, y ahora traducción tal cual. Louisville con un programa de baloncesto muy fuerte por muchos años. Wow, qué complicado el intento de Raynaud y después el rebote.
Potencial de victorias entre un año y el otro.
Las cosas cambiaron para Louisville. Bueno, parecía falta y era lo que se quejaba Maxi Raymond, que lo empujaron.
Son dos equipos que defienden, que atacan, por eso están aquí. Cuando ahí, pues Raynaud es el único muchacho que ha anotado para el equipo.
Mientras uno se apoyan en el portal de transferencias, el otro...
Muchacho también de más de 7 pies de altura, muy atlético. Que está usando una máscara protectora, supongo que trae un golpe en la quijada, en la cara, ¿no? Que en realidad recibe minutos de manera regular.
Falla con el triple, el rebote largo lo tiene y una segunda oportunidad para Stanford. Pase a la pintura, muy bien, el giro, consigue el tiro pero no logra concretarlo.
Zona y Kansas.
Muy bien, el trabajo ahí por el costado consiguiendo los puntos. Louisville top. Ahí sí, estás hablando sí de Clemson. De Florida, todos están ahí unos de Florida, no, pues sí.
Miami. Costa a costa completamente, ¿no? Universidad de Miami que le fue muy, pero...
Buena finta. Cubriendo bien por el perímetro. Ahora con el francés, qué bien, con la mano izquierda. Raynaud consigue el enceste.
Raynaud ya juegan mucho por afuera del área pintada, ¿no?
Raynaud consigue el enceste. Wow.
Vivió el gran Mohamed Ali. Tuve la oportunidad de conocerlo, Pablo, cuando fui a cubrir los servicios fúnebres de Mohamed Ali. Ahí muy bonito y me está muy, muy grande, ¿eh?
Sí.
Y no los dejan entrar, pero ni siquiera al arco de disparo de 3 puntos, ya no digamos al área.
Sí. ¡Oh, qué triplazo por parte del francés para poner las cosas! ¿Qué pueden hacer? Raynaud, le van a dar el balón. Raynaud ni siquiera ataca, aquí va, pero no quiere porque sabe que está condicionado. El triple lo lanza. ¡Qué bien! Okpara. Tiene Stanford ahora con el balón. Se va a animar, buena finta, va a atacar. la flota, no quiere atacar porque sabe que pudo haber sido.
First meeting between Cal and Stanford. They're first in the ACC tournament, first-year members of the league. And there is the All-America candidate, Maxime Raynaud, missing a three. If you're just joining us, a series of pump fakes, and it's stripped into the hands of Blakes.
How about Stojakovic got fouled on that one?
Raynaud for three. He's finally on the board.
Finally on the board, but really Cal. Tritus is one of those guys that he can play a number of different roles. You're going to see him double down, but he's also going to scramble out well.
Raynaud into the paint.
There he is.
Here's Petritis with a rebound. And here is Latin games in 43 minutes a year ago, Pavlovich. Akpara, great three-point shooter, but it doesn't take many. Raynaud will take, and Raynaud will hit his second three. And Stanford.
Tendencies as well as your starting group or even your second group would, if they were all healthy.
They're not going to double here at first, and Raynaud spins around a tough angle miss. Well played by
Duke team was. A ton of hype, but ultimately they've lived up to it and then some.
And they'll play tomorrow at noon against Georgia Tech. Here's Raynaud. California 28, Stanford. Want to get it to Raynaud. And they'll get it to him from the three-point line. Maxime with a left-hand finish.
I mean, how about that from the 7-footer, right? The Stojakovic, he hasn't been able to find it since. Some of that's the physicality defensively, though.
Raynaud floats it home. He's into double figures, and here comes Stanford. Oh, so it will stay with Stanford, beg your pardon, and Jalen Blakes to inbound. Blakes for Maxime Raynaud. And Raynaud with a little second-half thunder.
Just no ball pressure.
Off Tucker, and Sissoko came back to get that favorable matchup. Raynaud will then step out. And that's going to stay with Western Carolina and Hampton, Virginia. Raynaud again. 4-3.
That's the problem. You want to talk about a pick conviction, let it fly.
His first start in about 35 days, DJ Campbell. Raynaud into the paint over Dort. He doesn't miss many of those. Raynaud sealing off Sissoko. There's the bounce pass. Yeah. There's the bucket.
You just see the setup of that. They're going to get him in. Stanford fell asleep because he hadn't scored in a while. You can't leave him to help off of a driver.
Into the middle of the zone. It's Raynaud again. 21 now for the big man.
Coach, you've had some terrific teams going back from Florida Gulf Coast to USC. You've had tremendous high-level NBA players. This team plays with great balance. What do you want to see early against Syracuse to find that balance? Dangerous. We see that in the NCAA tournament. The team that's not supposed to win plays freer. I don't know if that's a real word.
15 for DJ. Raynaud cannot answer. Long rebound. Here's Campbell.
With, if anything, you probably take that most times down the floor.
Keeler gets a hard Raynaud screen. He launches too deep. Have a career high.
Zone it up here is tough to do with this man on the floor. He's just such a threat.
Gets to his left hand. No, got it back. Rare offensive rebound for Stanford. Raynaud would like the basketball again. Why not? Left it short again. He missed two.
Sissoko did a good job of.
Back here for Agarwal, the sophomore from Texas, outside the Dallas area. Raynaud a three.
Got to get out on that.
55th three of the year.
Yeah, you can't give him the floor.
9-0 run. Agarwal. Here's Raynaud against Traore. Maxime at about 18 feet.
Team and their success, hanging on every shot and play. Everyone on their feet after a tremendous defensive stand.
Raynaud three bounces off. One and done. Raynaud's got a three and one free throw.
But one thing, when a defender goes away, they're not going to vacate the space. You're going to have multiple bodies around anytime Raynaud touch the top of that beautiful head of hair he has. And he breaks it down for me. It's Paul Mitchell. I can tell you that. I'm not sure which one, but it's absolutely Paul Mitchell styling gel that my guy uses.
Raynaud.
Ten to go Stanford. I think they all are.
Yeah. Here's Raynaud with 5. Three ball over the top of Roos is too strong. Rebound to Hadley. And from the time, it'll be telling here in the opening few minutes of this second half here. Raynaud with the left-hand hook, and it rolls in. There's his second field goal.
But the soft touch, using the left.
You're on the stump for Jalen Blakes potentially being the most improved player in the ACC.
I do believe that he absolutely is. You consider that he scored 2 points a game a season ago for the Blue Devils, as Raynaud knocks down the corner 3 ball.
It's impressive to watch. It's been fun to watch too.
It's been very fun to watch. I'm telling you, coming to a shoot-around, as we see Raynaud get the tip in and making a 10-point game. You come to a shoot-around, only 18 the first half. They've already scored 9 here in the second half in the first 6+ minutes. So playing much better offensively. And this guy is starting to get it going, WD. We talk about the points scored, the wrong side of momentum here on their home floor, and get the building right back into it.
And a 3 ball from Raynaud, bounds short and out of bounds.
Shooting game, but a big 3 on that end.
Keeler can't get through it. And now Raynaud left open. Another 3 away. Traore, the rebound.
The guy for the Cards, especially here in the second half, making plays on both ends of the floor and providing that energy and effort.
Raynaud right hand scores. Boy, Maxime Raynaud.
That goes to show you, Matt, how good Burton and Davis has been for this Notre Dame team. But without their best shooter, without one of their best ball handlers, and a lot of best decision makers.
Last year was a stud for Stanford. New coaching staff comes in and has ideas about how he can improve as he takes that with authority to the rim. And rather than just...
I mean, the school that they're at last year doesn't mean they're not good players. They just had other guys in front, and the coach felt like those guys were better fit for the team. Kyle Smith does a great job of bringing guys in and having the...
Stanford approaching a 3-minute scoring drought. Raynaud had it jarred loose. 3 to shoot. Raynaud, left hand won't go. And the drought continues for Stanford. The Notre Dame run to 8-0. Meanwhile, a 4.5-minute scoring drought for Stanford.
Again, a defender, moving his feet, keeping guys in front.
Raynaud on the smaller Roper. Left hand short. And it's going back to Notre Dame. Thompson again. In and out, Raynaud, offensive board, missing from point-blank range. And it's
put him in foul trouble.
He scored 15 points or more in 3 of the last 4. Raynaud, tough shot, somehow finds the bottom of the cup. He's now Agarwal. Come on. You didn't have a game where you're just chucking up tough stuff and found the bottom of the cup every time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Here's Raynaud off the heel. Keeler the rebound. Try
that way. And if not, if you're going to go one-on-one, give it to Marcus Burton.
Raynaud catch and shoot. Chisholm Okpara fighting for the rebound. Raynaud a deep 2, splashes from the baseline. Trouble starting to stack up for Notre Dame. Now multiple players with at least 2 fouls. Raynaud, baseline jumper, buries it. And he leads all scorers with 12.
One of the best guards in the country, you're able to knock down tough shots like that.
Leads the ACC in scoring coming into the night. Turnaround jumper and a friendly bounce for Maxime Raynaud.
We've been
South Pavilion. He can make it from anywhere, man.
I mean, he's relentless. I mean, he's going to miss a couple shots. He's just going to keep going. One of the most explosive guards in the country. If I take Davis, if I'm Maxime Raynaud and Marcus Burton, I'm going a little bit harder knowing that one of the best GMs in the NBA is in the stands.
NCAA national championship game.
And look, all respect to UConn, but I'm just telling you right now, Matt, we don't spend a lot of time talking about UConn over here. Right away, when I get the ball in this end, I'm going to attack them.
24 seconds away from being in that break zone. Raynaud, turnaround J won't go. And Burton the rebound.
Now that big fella has to make a decision. Do I want to come up? He's going to blow by. If I stay back, he has a jump shot. Way to knock it down, Marcus Burton.
Way to go inside to Maxime Raynaud. That stops a 5.5-minute scoring drought.
Honored pregame. Highlight the starting five for Stanford. Raynaud flashes the leather. Now backs in Yigatolu.
Well, he shows you how versatile he is. He can score from three, so you crowd him it in.
Sellers, who played under SMU head coach Andy Enfield the last 2 years down at USC. Raynaud, the ball fake and the finish off the glass. And a timeout.
Plus a game, and a lot of those come off of defensive rebounds, turnovers, and transition baskets.
SMU without its leading scorer, Maxime Raynaud rips the cords from deep. On Wednesday night. Raynaud has 9 of Stanford's first 11. And his first miss comes off the front rim to B.J. Edwards. Stanford has already won 4 more games this season than they did all of last year as Raynaud puts in the southpaw flip.
Well, that's the recipe for success. You put the ball in scoring, too, to narrow this game.
Chuck Harris in his second year at SMU after 3 years at Butler. Raynaud, a slingshot 3, and it's taken by Edwards. He come on strong here down the stretch run of the ACC season. Raynaud takes him off the bounce and missed everything. Was trying to draw some contact there.
Well, he's going to stay.
Stanford north of 60% from the floor this first half. Raynaud can't hit that one.
Yeah, it's good defense by SMU.
Bench. 3 triples, 9 points for the former walk-on. Raynaud flashes it. Comes up short on the push shot, and Yigatolu's fouled by Kamen.
He's using his lower body, not his upper body, to get open.
Chizumak Paru came off the bench that first half, starts the second on the floor, and Maxime Raynaud picks up where he left off.
Yeah, how about the no hesitation? You're a
10th SMU turnover. Raynaud.
I love that action. High-low, impossible to guard. It's been sitting an awfully long time.
Lakes is third on the team in scoring. Raynaud misfires from the baseline. Here comes Chuck Harris and SMU. Agarwal, high lob, low post.
Great look by Ryan.
9 trays for Stanford this afternoon. Sellers. Southside Maples Pavilion.
Oziah Sellers with the...
Raynaud. 3 to shoot. Southpaw flip comes up short.
Yeah, you can see Stanford's out of rhythm offensively. There's the defense again, zone defense. And the infield's going to stay with the zone defense. It's been very effective.
Oh, Raynaud is automatic from that mid-post spot.
Well, that's a great look. I mean, that's a great just.
Benny Gieler back on the floor with 4 fouls. Shot clock's down to 5. Raynaud lets it fly. Last touched by SMU.
Raynaud's working really hard for position underneath.
The turnaround right-hand shot over the top of Traore.
And he was rewarded.
Raynaud faces up. Attacks Traore. Gieler with 3 to shoot. Agarwal, dagger.
Nonetheless, it's out of bounds under.
Boston College, they were excellent on this end last week as Raynaud misses the step-back jump shot. Donovan Young grabs the second effort. BC allowed a combined 90 points in 2 wins last week. That included holding Virginia Tech to 36, but they didn't face a big 16.5 points per game this year. Eagles shoot the 3-ball well, but they don't take many out there. Maxime Raynaud, first 4 for Stanford tonight.
And again, Chris goes to really on every possession.
Benny Gieler, first sub off the bench for Stanford. Raynaud for 3, and he knocks it down.
Benny Gieler knows his teammates. You know, you pick by Maxime Raynaud staying grounded, not leading his feet.
Raynaud That was partially blocked. Benning got a piece of it. He's top 100 in the country.
You give up an offensive rebound. That's a tough sequence if you're Stanford.
Fred Payne was an ESPN 4-star prospect out of high school. Maxime Raynaud rips the cords on his second first half. The floor at the same time here down the stretch of the first half. Agarwal drives. Raynaud on the offensive glass has the stick back.
Yeah, very patient by Maxime Raynaud. He waited for the defenders to clear, go up in the air.
And the reigning ACC Player of the Week. First Eagle to win it 3 times in a season since Jared Dudley, as Raynaud splashes in his third tray.
And he makes.
There's Donovan Young, freshman from Pasco, Washington. Raynaud backs in Benning. Perfect. He is automatic with that right-hand push shot.
Well, I call.
A slingshot 3, and Raynaud rattles it in.
I love Geeler and Raynaud. Capable player, grad student from Southeast Louisiana. He can get it done.
15-point per game score in the Southland. A heat check for Raynaud.
Well, he earned that.
13 now for Chad Benning to lead Boston College tonight. Raynaud, mid-range. That came through this program under his tutelage. Trent Johnson here on the hardwood, and Johnny Dawkins, who's now the head coach at UCF. All those guys would have liked to have a big that plays like Mac. As close as Boston College has been in this second half. Raynaud right over the top of Strong. It rolls off. And here comes Boston.
And the rebound, Ryan Agarwal for the Cardinals.
Well, I like that by Raynaud. Stayed long and tall without fouling.
Short on the 3. And the rebound falls to Andrei Stojakovic for the Bears.
Beast on the boards. Got to put a body on him. Cannot jump with it. Doesn't look like he's the most athletic player. And then he just goes and grabs it.
From the weak side, and the putback missed by Donovan Young, and here comes
They called on me in the ACC. I would be with the ACC's all-time foul leader. That's something Jordan never did.
Off the inbound, Maxime Raynaud breaks the seal for the Cardinals.
You can't 9-5. You're getting on the offensive glass. You're doing a great job defensively.
Maxime Raynaud with the left hand, and the tip. Ryan Agarwal wouldn't go, and Ritas Petritis. High post to Maxime Raynaud. And he goes baseline, it rattles out, and Stojakovic rips it down for Cal.
Oh, big battle. He's got that great body. Just use that power.
Maxime Raynaud, the running hook.
Well, Sissoko's got the strength in this. I love Benny Keeler. He's that guy that you need on your squad. I don't care if it's a high school, college, or the pros. He's a dirt worker, does all the little things to help the team win.
And the rebound tip free, and Jeremiah Wilkinson. Maxime Raynaud again launching a 3. This one goes for Raynaud.
How good is that? I said a little. Well, like you said, there's some nerves in a rivalry game.
Maxime Raynaud left it short. Cal claims the rebound.
He threw his hand. Wilkinson not letting him get off that launch pad.
The other thing, Cal offensively has just 1 assist tonight. And Raynaud throws up a wild shot, but kept alive by Sellers. Still 10 on the shot clock. He leads Cal with 6. Maxime Raynaud, 3.
Well, he said he went inside for a bucket and he couldn't get one down. That's what we didn't see in the first half on some of those rebound attempts. And just getting rebounds outside your position.
Raynaud has it blocked, and Agarwal fouled. Will go back to the line for Stanford.
Job speeding Cardinal up to a pace that they haven't played all game long, and it's thrown them off balance offensively.
Maxime Raynaud too strong on the 3, and Monty Sissoko up over everybody for the rebound.
And Stanford can stop him.
15 for Jeremiah Wilkinson now. Again for 3, Maxime Raynaud. That one rims out. DJ Campbell the rebound.
Well, Raynaud's bombing.
Raynaud.
Let's go Stanford!
Isolated.
Let's go Stanford!
The step back from Maxime Raynaud.
Well, just flashing the footwork down on that left base.
7, 6.
Pass deflected. Aiden Kamen comes away with it. Kamen over to Raynaud. And the rebound pulled down by Cal. Petritus ahead.
For the Cardinal to be able to figure out a way to make free throws even easier.
Raynaud with a big dribble, lofts it up there shorts. Rebound kicked out of play, and it'll be Duke ball.
Prayer. Captain Bellinger to get out to St. Jude, the miracle worker.
Sellers wanted to run the 6'5 junior. He comes in at 14 points a game. And the first one switched in by the big, the 7-footer.
He would get if he didn't have a teammate like Cooper Flagg, even though Cooper helps him have a great year.
But one of the things that Kyle Smith was talking about was hanging in early against Duke. That's going to wrap.
Good shot.
Duke #1 in the conference in assists. A terrific passing team. Backing into the lane. Agarwal gets it outside for Raynaud, and he'll that one down.
But how about the help from Malik Grant? Confidence. John Shire loves the way he's grown up as of late.
Yeah, he really has played well, Corey. Getting good shots, making them count.
Tough shot by Raynaud, knocked out by.
And I'm going to say this on national TV. I actually liked Duke in the 80s with the famous backcourt of Tommy Amaker and Johnny Dawkins together. The class that saved Coach K, of course, TA was an approve of the job that John Shire and Rachel Baker have done assembling this team.
Oh, man, phenomenal job what he's done.
Did he get rolling? Nothing falling for him. And look at Flagg go up with a one-hand that one. That ain't going to happen. Right. Yeah. 15-point lead here for Duke. Raynaud wants a long one. Malawach high up for the rebound.
Lasagna.
Why hasn't that worked for me? That's all I've done my entire life. Duke on a 21-5 run. Raynaud's been very cold. Not this time as he sticks the triple.
You know, one thing he's achieved.
Though, I watched Kevin Hart win the celebrity MVP in the celebrity game. I'm going with OB. I saw your work at Syracuse. Saw the picture of you out there hooping. And you got the height advantage over Kevin Hart, by the way.
Got a little bone cancer. She's really like she's here as a guest of John Shire. Terrific young girl,
Raynaud,
10 years of age.
Can't get that one to go. Just 10 years old.
Yep. I want to simply say, if you want.
Lead balloons to 45-27 Duke. Raynaud off the fake on Malawach. Got it.
That's his first bucket inside the three-point.
For them would be a victory. You don't want it to get to 20. Nice fake.
Raynaud going for the slam with both hands.
He shows a lot of potential. He really does. Steve and his numbers. They should make Coach K the commissioner of basketball for college basketball.
Raynaud.
He would be ideal. And the commissioner of football should be saving. Why not take advantage of resources like that?
Raynaud with another one. That one is all nets. He has 18 by the Duke Blue Devils.
Let's get him one-on-one.
Raynaud with that left hand. No. Malawach with the board.
He uses the left hand quite a bit as well.
James, one of Duke's true guards, who is 6'6", on the tallest team in the country. Flagg came over to help out defensively. Raynaud again. Even though he missed that one, you guys have been raving about the touch.
In Stanford. Unbelievable. Kim Belton. It's a pleasure working with him. Hey, Kim, did I say the way you wrote it out for me?
You missed a highlight or two. They'd like you to revisit that.
Miguel is May 2nd. We said 92.9 we've raised million. And we're going to go over 100 million for pediatric cancer for the Jimmy V Foundation.
Slim, stick around for another year.
I agree with you.
And again, with NIL the way it is, and of course Duke is the truly only global college basketball program, they're not hurting for resources. And when you think about
2-0 early. Raynaud, he can shoot it from out there, firing away off to the left rebound, George.
He can shoot it left-handed over hook pass. That's a hard pass to make right there.
8th consecutive start for Donovan Young. He kicks it out. Raynaud, Euro step, not able to convert. Good active hands in the contest from the Jackets. He missed 6 games. A freshman from Maryland. That's a good sign for the Jackets. Raynaud, a 3-ball. He's a little off right now, huh? 0 for 3.
I mean, they'll live with it. Doing a little bit of what North Carolina State did last weekend. Picking the ball up full court, just pressure him a little bit, just making it a little bit different, a little bit more difficult for Stanford bringing the ball up, expending some more energy. Yeah, I'm really impressed by Nate George. He was a little bit more just a playmaker, and now you see he has to step it up and be a scorer. And he's done just that.
Nice move there.
Can he make it? Yes, he's capable, but they want him to stay where he's more comfortable around the rim.
This is 12 three-point attempts on the year. Raynaud sizes Powell up. Can't connect from the mid-range.
What Georgia Tech has done.
Raynaud, top of the key against Dongo. Rotates it. Young, back to Raynaud. 3-ball launch, that's off. Forcing the issue.
It's just not there by Powell.
Looking for Mutombo. Raynaud, 3-ball. Back iron. Boy, it's just been that kind of first.
With Georgia Tech, again, they're seeing the mismatch. They know Nathan George can take Geeler off the dribble, and then they're just seeing that and attacking it.
Raynaud with a left hand. Touched above the rims. Nearly 50% of their output. They've made life miserable on Maxime Raynaud. Turns, faces. That's more like it from Maxime.
And Grady, too.
He's got 15. Third made triple. Raynaud, top of the key. That rattles out. Offensive rebound, Agrawal.
Touches. Be aggressive towards the rim.
Blakes has had a nice second half. Inside to Raynaud. Turns, faces. Knocks it down. All right, Cardinal within 12. Akpara. Free throw extended. Attacks Dongo. Kick, Raynaud, 3-ball launches, that rattles in and out.
Carolina, you know, those teams that they're beating. This Georgia Tech team is doing this with 6 players. And honestly, Raynaud has been.
Shot clock winding down. Raynaud with a high post, no room, heaves it up. And the rebound snagged by Bryce Hurd.
For those jump shot really plays to Stanford's favor. They'll take those all day.
Let's see if Raynaud goes at Middlebrooks, who's got the 1 foul. He does. And he knew it. He knew Middlebrooks didn't want to pick up that second foul. Raynaud down low. The Frenchman. No good with the lefty hook. Agarwal's tip not there. Stays with it. And eventually a dozen. 4 for 4 from 3. The rest of the team just 8 for 23. Raynaud, who's got 4, been a quiet first half offensively for the AC against Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks got into foul trouble, picked up 2 in the first half. Raynaud and 1 for the Frenchman, and that is 3 on Ben.
You have to keep it simple, but you have to attack the pressure. Attack the pressure and then make a decision.
Raynaud went right at Middlebrooks and drops it in for 2.
Keep it simple. Be aggressive if they're.
Agarwal. Stanford can take the lead with a 3. They go down low. Raynaud drops it in for 2 more.
And that's great recognition right there by.
For the game, closing in on double-double number 20. And on the last possession, he drove on Middlebrooks. This time, hanging in the Louvre. He's smelling blood. Give it to Raynaud. He has done what he has wanted to do in the second half. Raynaud from the corner. Now the entire crowd odd, as that should more so without Blakes, without Geeler.
But when the opportunity presents itself, you have to be able to take advantage of it.
Opportunity presenting itself for Maxime Raynaud. He's got Parker, 1 off a career high he set just recently against Duke. Raynaud, that time too much, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cardinal. It's a small lineup for NC State. Raynaud over Doof, too strong. Now Parker, from first 4 out to next 4 out.
We're in the part of the season right now where every game counts. It's a big clump in that middle of the conference. Duke, Clemson, SMU, really opportunities. Every shot is a tough shot.
Oparo is open. Instead, they go and play through Raynaud. He does it again. 19 for the Frenchman.
I think they found out.
Do they double Raynaud? Plenty of time to shoot. Baseline drive, tough angle, side of the backboard. NC State with numbers. Parker. Oparo defended by Taylor. Raynaud, a 3. Short.
side rim. And Doof control.
He's been a winner at every stop, and so he's going to make some adjustments, but he's had a real challenge on his hands today.
Sellers picked up his dribble. Raynaud for three. No. Looked good coming out of his hand. Hunter Salas.
A great story, and again, relationships paid off big time.
Averaging 13 a game. He's already got 15. Raynaud way too strong on the three attempt. Sellers has been so quiet. Only 3 points in this first half. Extra pass. Raynaud, three. Go!
Now you can't leave him there. He will torch you.
A play that benefited Wake. Stanford looking for the final shot. They blitz Sellers. Raynaud, couple of dribbles with the left hand. How about that one?
He's ambidextrous, and it pays off. Possession for the Cardinal themselves defensively.
Sellers back to Raynaud. Another one of those runners. This one a little too strong.
Yeah, in between there. I thought that's a...
Create something. Still trying to get it in there to him. Finally they do. Raynaud scores. It took a while.
I don't know how Chisholm Park
did not travel. Raynaud behind the back. Sellers, no. Raynaud puts it in with a foul. Stanford talked today in their practice about single-digit turnovers. That was a big goal for the game. Already have 13. Raynaud over the top three. Ball tipped back. Batson, the younger big man who can play alongside Raynaud. They're both on the court at the same time right now. Shot clock down to 9. Raynaud, long three. Too strong. Rebound Wake. Raynaud has been a passer. He's been a scorer. Cameron Hildreth back in the game with 4 fouls. That's big for Wake. Raynaud, open three, way off the mark. And Hildreth immediately to 20. Agarwal trying to get it in. Raynaud, contested three, in and out. And a rebound, Wake Forest. Johnson grabbed it.
Pressure. We'll see how the rest of these guards handle it.
Raynaud going right to work. Comes up empty on the opening possession, but they will play through 42 early.
But not against, come on, he has the physicality and the length about his 6'10" frame. Where Cross doesn't have an advantage inside.
Raynaud, he'll make you pay. Yigitolu a little lick. Ryan Agarwal going to handle a lot more of the ball with Jalen Blake's out. Raynaud, pump fake, drives the lane, lost the handle, off his knee, and it's SMU ball.
Still looking for a level of confidence. Obviously, Stanford missing a key offensive player in this lineup, but SMU has struggled against some of the better. Cross has all 5 of SMU's points here early, and his ability to score inside and out.
Max Raynaud answers with a 3 of his own. The Frenchman who leads.
A lot of opportunities behind the 3-point line.
SMU 4 for 5 from 3 to start this one. And the Mustangs, whose football team made the college football play.
I think one of the adjustments to why their defense is much better now. They started the season, they were starting Yigitolu at the 5, Trey Orr at the 4, and Matt Cross is playing the 3. Now they're going to the 3, going really beneficial for them. They're smaller, they're quicker.
Raynaud into the lane. 4 SMU defenders on Maxime. Raynaud still gets it to go. So Stanford has missed 6 in a row and 1 of their last 10. Raynaud trying to change that. Comes up empty. Stanford has missed their last 8 shots. Raynaud trying to change that. Into the lane, Maxime Raynaud. Individually, he's been good.
Dunk. Again, as we talked about, he has better mobility than you give him credit for.
And he's been defending Raynaud, who's been the lone bright spot for Stanford. He has 15.
And I think some of it is SMU's just settled. Taking some bad shots.
Raynaud posts it off the mark.
Freshman is just starting to, he knows his role. He's playing those guys. He's just gets in that dunker spot in that 7-2. He's just a low.
Tolu, who had not made a 3 all season, hit one in the first half. And is that considered a heat check?
Well,
that's Raynaud.
That's considered a heat check by Raynaud. This led to some defensive struggles by not being able to get back and set their defense.
Raynaud lines up the three. Missed it. Right now.
He is. I call that the Steve Smith, the fake hezzy spin. The fake hezzy, and he spins and hezzies and goes, and Raynaud got left looking.
And I think we expected the offense, Randolph, but the defensive performance has been particularly telling for this team that has really improved on that.
Quickly.
Now, if they hang on to this 35-point win, and looks like they will as Raynaud comes up empty, they'll be 17-5.
Whirlpool, everyday care.
Josiah stayed home Saturday in their most recent game against Pitt, despite out-rebounding the Panthers by 17. A lot of that was Lampkin's 23. And Raynaud, unsurprisingly, has the first 5 for Stanford tonight.
And that's of Raynaud rotating over, getting a piece of the shot, and getting Stanford out.
Sellers couldn't finish this time, but grabs the second effort. Josiah Sellers has been the best three-point percentage shooter in the ACC in conference play. And says a good pro comp he came up recently for Maxime is Kelly Olynyk, the ex-Gonzaga Bulldog, who's now with the Toronto Raptors and has been in the league for a while. I mean, he's gone.
Oh, probably want to get a little more reps up and down the court before pulling the trigger.
Raynaud buries the three. Mandated by Syracuse the last 4.5 minutes.
And they want to get the ball to their run stopper right here, Maxime Raynaud. Beautiful shot right there, and another stop for Syracuse. The Q's is in the house, as they used to say back in the day. Nice little run.
Raynaud misfires. Agarwal, the offensive rebound.
And finally, getting some buckets in transition and knocking down some threes as well.
Raynaud for three. Geeler, 9 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Geeler downhill. Tapped in by Raynaud. And that'll give him a double-double.
And Raynaud may have gotten away. Can Syracuse just continue the run they ended the half on? They go right to their money man, one-on-one. This is the matchup we talked about.
I didn't get to see a ton of it in the first half, and Lampkin wins the first battle of the second. The first Orange to do that since Derek Coleman back in 1990.
Well, you talk about Orangeman royalty when you mentioned Derek Coleman. Huge. He's a guy who can get 20 points in his sleep. And right now he's been relatively quiet. You don't want to force things, but he definitely needs to become a factor in this game.
Akpara
drawing up a great look for the Orange out of the timeout.
First points of the night for Chris Bell, the Northern California native who grew up in Concord. Raynaud answers back with a straightaway make. Averages almost 12 a game in the rebounding column. Flashes the leather. Takes it downhill, spins, and a soft touch from Maxime Raynaud.
Gotta respect the three.
When they had that big run late in the first half, they did it by piling together stops. Raynaud provokes a three. It's off the heel, and Carlos after halftime. Agarwal around the Raynaud screen. Out to Maxime. Sidestep three. Off the front rim.
With the pin down, getting it inside of their go-to man.
Raynaud. Perfect.
The Cardinal and take some pressure off of Raynaud early in this basketball game.
Raynaud's first touch inside. Lost the handle on the left. Tried to tip it, no good. Watkins comes down with it.
Having a heck of a start to this game. 5 points to go along with 3 boards. Raynaud trying to go to work on that right side he loves so much.
Raynaud all the way in for the dunk.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That big man with that footwork, the ability.
And a shout out to his son Rocco, who's the captain of the Palo Alto High JV team, who's having a good season. So way to go, Rocco, and way to go, Maxime Raynaud inside.
Coming out of that timeout, they
Young tried to tip it. Raynaud tried to tip it. Gets it back to Sellers. Blake spots up. Raynaud tried to tip it. No good.
Well, we have seen the Cardinal now 3 times get those little put. Look at this Florida State defense. They can switch 1 through 5. That's what makes them so aggressive. That's how they get all those steals.
Raynaud's 3 is no good. He's got 22. His career high is 24.
You would think with all that hair, it would absorb the contact.
What a block by Bo Bowen on the 7-footer, Raynaud.
Raynaud couldn't believe it.
Raynaud, nice job boxing out.
Now Raynaud's 8 rebounds now.
Raynaud tried to dunk it home and missed it.
Raynaud, hey, where's the contact? You've been whistling me for...
We talk about Raynaud with a slow game, but he does have 11 rebounds. And now a left-handed tip.
That was pretty. All in. They shoot 65% from the field here in the second half.
Sellers, no good. Raynaud, yes.
Big fella flexed his muscles down there in that paint on that full-strength Florida State team. It's going to give his squad a lot of confidence. What he's teaching is working.
Raynaud. Fresh 20 for Stanford.
Tar Heels. Kyle Smith, the first-year head coach here with the Cardinal, really likes his starting 5. They play a lot of minutes. Raynaud gets up a shot on the first possession. Comes up short. Agarwal feeling it, in and out. Raynaud, offensive rebound. Now he'll pop out. Thought about the 3. He'll take the 3. Go!
Yeah, Lynn Kidd not wanting to come that far up.
Flung one up there. Now Raynaud against Huey on this end, one-on-one. Miami really not double-teaming Maxime Raynaud with the left hand.
He's got everything. He'll show you every aggressive player. He'll get on that glass. He'll run some pick and roll, some pick and pop with him. He can stretch it all the way out to 3-point range.
He's their second leading rebounder. Raynaud, that one was off the mark out of his hand. He's made 1 3 so far. Stops on this end. This is where they've had so many problems. Gave up 117 points last time out against SMU. Raynaud along the baseline.
I like that. Run a little off a fake to get the defender. Kind of feeling a little bit better about yourself. Go into the locker room. They would love to get this thing down to single digits before the break.
Raynaud, open 3. In and out. No good. Rivals, great women's power program. And Michaela hits a buzzer beater the day after her brother does. Raynaud, layup, no good. Excellent offensive rebound from Stinson, who came
flooded. Miami Heat, excuse me, the Hurricanes were determined not to let him operate on that low block again.
Raynaud, his first shot of the second half came up short. Well, here comes Miami. They're 3rd in the country in rebounds. Blakes finds Raynaud. A little off balance, so he got Kidd in the air and scores.
He had an offensive rebound in the first half where he tried to go up with it. He got poked.
Raynaud posting up against Kidd. Banging down low, no good.
I love to see the old school big guys banging on the block. Get on that glass, especially offensive glass. He's quick to run over and give somebody a pat on the backside like, good job.
Raynaud, 3, good!
Raynaud is due in the second.
Hey, basketball in France, for French basketball, the national team's excellent. Raynaud lays it in.
Done his work early. Yeah. He got Kidd on his back, great inch.
That's Chisholm Akpara, the Harvard transfer. Made some nice plays in the first half. Finds Raynaud, 3 again. It's French talk on the court.
I think those guys have hooked up in some summertime action.
I mean, we asked Paul Jobay, did you play against Raynaud? A 3.
It is raining. Left side. See if he gets up another shot from behind the arc on that left side.
Gives it up. Sets a screen and gets it back. A little mid-range.
Well, he hadn't shown that one yet, right? He could have taken one power.
Sort of a pioneering role that was created for him.
I loved watching him quarterback.
Oh, my God.
In the NFL. He was so good.
When Stanford, obviously, a great history here of football and quarterback play in particular. Sellers for 3, no. Raynaud gets a rebound and a bucket all in one.
Well, just so good.
Is averaging almost 23 per game over the last 7. There's Raynaud from downtown.
Well,
and a good box out there by Powell.
Well, and if you're here, it was clear sailing.
Well, Elliot Cadeau is an entirely different player than the one we saw when we were here. And there's that left hand you talked about earlier on from the big man.
Well, and he hasn't had a double-double. Really just consistently a high effort.
Got his own rebound.
And this is the thing, you know, when they lost to Wake Forest this past week.
Yeah, they have 6 different players with a bucket already. Ooh, that's a hard screen by Raynaud, and then he has an open look for 3, not going to be there. And coming away with a rebound is Lubin here.
And there's the pressure. All right, I got to keep playing like I did play. So you know, there's more to it. But you know, the guy, he's going to play, and he's a big-time player. And
Michigan State. And their only loss in the league came against what's looking to be a potent Louisville Cardinal team. Davis first. Bounce pass, and unable to handle it is Lubin. Alley-oop to Raynaud. Oh my goodness, and he'll go to the line. How about the big fella?
Pushed underneath the rim, and again, talk about the combination of production from Lubin and Washington.
Yeah, they're really doing a nice job.
What Raynaud has done in the middle.
And you have 7 points from Davis, but everybody else really quiet. And Raynaud drains another 3.
Wow. 2.3, plenty of time. Watch the guy taking the ball inbounds.
Raynaud lets it fly, and it's short. But
take away maybe the 3s and take him off the free throw line.
Carolina had a 7-point lead before the Cardinal came storming back. Raynaud short on his first attempt to begin the second half. We've had 5 leads with 10 points.
And the thing to watch with Jackson is a freshman on that type of role. Let's see if he starts to try to force the issue, Tom. And, you know, get used to scoring that much. You may try to start looking.
Davis has 12. And Raynaud tried the tip, tried to get the rebound, and was fouled.
But yeah, I mean, ideally, you're a coach, you like 2-to-1 assist to turnover.
Oh my, to the rack, the big fella Raynaud throws it down. Well, the old Carmichael Auditorium, which is still, by the way, standing, and Raynaud goes to the rack and lays it in. He's having a monster game.
How do you guard him? And, you know,
they're 80-67. And Raynaud another 3, and this one is short. And here comes Cadeau the other way for the Tar Heel. We'll set a screen here for Blakes. And then they kick it back out to Raynaud. That didn't even catch iron. Jackson.
North Carolina wins that inaugural. Imagine the pressure of that game.
Oh, man.
The first game here.
And 2 undefeated teams.
Yep. Right. Opened up and left him a driving lane.
Raynaud another 3. Nope, not going to be there. Vicious screen set by Raynaud.
He set a couple of them.
I can't believe they didn't give him the ball on that penetration. Left hand is short.
And he's been quiet during this stretch. We have not heard a lot from him. Second time that they've had a guard on Cadeau, and they've settled for a step-back 3 instead of trying to drive him.
Cadeau watches as Raynaud misses. He only has 7 points in the second half. Has not hit a field goal in over 5 minutes. Yet still trails by just 4. Raynaud again, and this time he knocks it in. Courted to Sellers. Shot clock at 7. Raynaud with the ball. He says, get out of the way. Steps back, and no good. That's a tough shot. And
Raynaud comes back out to the Duke transfer. Jalen Blakes. Here is Raynaud, 42 in red. Maneuvering on Efton Reed. The soft touch. And as advertised.
And as you see,
he's missed 10 games with a foot injury this year.
Stanford's got to do a better job on their own defensive glass. A couple of offensive rebounds now for Wake.
Raynaud misfires.
And just trying to overpower. They were fantastic at points in the paint. 7-0 advantage points in the paint.
Raynaud catch and release. the ACC's leading scorer from deep. Vanessa and Philippe, his parents, in the building tonight. Agarwal, Raynaud, hang it in the Louvre.
Well,
Raynaud's not a checkers player. He is a excellent chess player. Raynaud again, too strong. And we get a foul here
until that play.
If you're Stanford now, are you going straight to 42?
Gotcha.
There he is, Raynaud, another three. Offensive rebound, Blakes puts it up to it.
Myself, partner. I challenge these guys to a game.
Once I get into my castle, then I don't know what to do, but Raynaud certainly does. You saw what he could do in the weight room. Copped it up, not buying. Offensive rebound, Raynaud. Back to Sellers. Second chance. Raynaud down low. Feathery touch, and he's up to a dozen, 10. November with a foot injury and getting close to the end of that timeline, 8 to 10 weeks. Agarwal now has missed a few wide open threes, but on cleanup duty, Maxime Raynaud.
Yeah, Agarwal.
Blakes. Now Raynaud. Clear path. Missed the dunk.
Oh, Raynaud had a wide open lefty jam and couldn't. Well, that's exactly right. Great timeout by Coach Forbes. Settle his team down. Push that lead back at the 9. Keep Johnson under control. Raynaud with a big triple.
First point guard here. The floor general. Dropping it off. Rico Gillespie is short with the jump hook. Raynaud with the board.
Yeah, you can see Gillespie trying to get that one over the long.
Look at this. 5'11" on 7'1".
Oh, rattles out. Yeah, but he's not afraid of the shot blocker, right? He said, okay, let's dance out here, big man.
Barnett pulls up. Wide left.
Well, that was great defense. Never allowed anything. Whoever's got the rock in front of him right now, these guys are just blowing right by Blakes.
Barnett likes his odds. Can't get it to fall on Sellers. Raynaud with the rebound.
Well, I tell you, they needed to stop and to this opportunity to continue to play March.
And Kent trying to do the exact same thing. Raynaud, as his team is now on a 6-0 run over the last 134 season at Stanford. Davis clears out room, can't finish.
Now that's what I like. Let big players play big around the basket. Keep those.
We could look back and note that as a critical stop for the Cardinals. Off the bench and into the game is Thompson missing the three. Collecting the rebound and putting it up and in.
That would be the exact opposite numbers. At Stanford would be a +6 or +7 from the line. Couldn't get them both to go.
Raynaud rips the huge rebound. His team now down 7.
Yeah, one timeout left for Stanford. I don't know if Coach Smith's going to use it after this made free throw, but if he misses it, you got to rush that ball the other end. You got to start thinking 3 points at this point.
Blake,
the chance that we lose this game on a heat from 75 feet, slim and done.
He follows your advice. Can Raynaud pull off a miracle? No.
Not while I'm patrolling this paint.
Step back. Scotty Washington too strong. Raynaud grabs the rebound.
Yeah, you mentioned, #1 in the ACC and rebounds. They like this little 4-0 run. He'll put him some more length around the basket.
Third block for Raynaud. Might give him 4 if the official scorer is in the mood.
Well, he shut that down right away. And toes and everything else. They can't seem to get a handle on this rock.
Maybe there's too much air in it. Overinflated basketballs can be a little slippery. Just ask Tom Brady about footballs. From the corner. 3 is in and out for Beard. Another rebound for Raynaud.
And a nice closeout by Cameron to challenge that.
An outstanding effort, but a huge basket, too. Ends a scoring drought for Stanford. That was over 2 minutes.
We've seen a number of these Cardinal players
get history.
They need one more rebound to have the all-time record for rebounds in a season. The time on that shot clock to work themselves into a good position here.
Oh, a little spring in Washington step. Here comes Blakes in the open court. Jones in his face. Raynaud facing a double team, threads the needle. 2 opportunities, no good. Coming out of the pack was Watt.
And they can't do this against Kent State. Kent State's a better basketball team, and if you allow a team, this much of an opportunity, and they're not going to shoot 20, Kent State going to shoot 25%. Yeah, they got to be sharper and crisper.
Double of the season. Extra pass, Gieler. A little bit of space against Beard. And a whistle is blown in a foul, so there's the double-double.
NIT tournament on the brackets, but that's a hungry basketball team that they're going to have to face on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, they took it to a good Atlantic 10 school, St. Bonaventures, tonight.
Butterman se equivoca. Y Sellers. A ver, Sellers entra y sale ese balón. Y Sellers, un jugador de UCLA transferido. El triple a la larga.
Este equipo de Stanford está 1 de 7 en este momento en tiros de campo.
Sí, del otro lado. Ajá. Sí.
¿Y sabes dónde jugaba su transferido, por cierto? En Duke. O sea, de una escuela ruda a otra. Jalen Blake, la repetición del enceste de 3 puntos anterior cuando este cuarto está por finalizar.
Sí, magnífico. El triple falla. Y se va a acabar la primera mitad. Bueno, saber jugar con una sola falta, ¿eh? Y querían de inmediato la falta ahí. No hay tal. Y después la falta se la cometen al francés.
He can survive one more day this wild ride. DJ Campbell back into the starting lineup for this one. His shot is rebounded by Maxime Raynaud. Minutes this season. But somebody's got to play tonight. A 3-4. Campbell is short and grabbed by Raynaud.
I feel like he's one of those guys that when he gets into the game, you had mentioned his playing freely. He's holding nothing back. He's taking tough shots. He's being aggressive. I mean, that's exactly how you have to be in this situation. I would take as many bad shots as I could. Look in the mud, thinking too much, being worried about the guy behind him. If they mess up or miss a shot, and you're going to get taken out. There is something that is incredibly liberating about knowing there's really nobody. He went back to it. The problem was Raynaud was covering him.
Campbell, step back 3, no good. Punched up in the air by Raynaud. He's called.
Zone it up here is tough to do with this man on the floor. He's just such a threat.
Gets to his left hand, no. Got it back. Rare offensive rebound for Stanford.
Posted in the previous 2 years combined. Edwards with 1 to shoot, 3, nope, long 2, bounds away. Raynaud, his first rebound.
And a great patient defensive possession right for
Hosea Sellers. Oh, what a handy dribble behind the back here. In traffic, too strong. Raynaud taps it out. Sellers a long 2 is good.
Offensive rebound by Raynaud on that offense. So WD, I'm keeping track. Jalen Blakes has guarded all 3 perimeter players on each possession of this game and been successful in doing so. Started the game out guarding Chucky Hepburn on the first. Is a settled 3 where you're just facing up your defender, but not a shot that's too big for Jalen Blake.
Rebound off the miss of Edwards by Raynaud.
We talk about all this playing 3 years at Duke.
Delivered the bounce pass. Ryan Agarwal the layup, and there goes Traore. The Euro failed him.
See, that was the problem. He tried a Euro against the guy.
Quick bounce pass. Now Traore to work against Raynaud.
Now this is where Raynaud should absolutely have an advantage. Traore trying to back him down, giving away about 5 inches to Raynaud, who
was the starting 5 today for Pat Kelsey. Hepburn a 3 at the front. Look at Raynaud go get it. And now Jalen Blakes will.
And Edwards not just a scorer. He could be a playmaker as well. I think he's the perfect complement to Chucky Hepburn. Those 2 guys in the backcourt have really been special. Thompson bringing that leadership. And by the way, he's got 2 game winners to his credit this week.
Yes, he does. Hepburn a 3, bounces out. Raynaud another rebound. 8 rebounds now for Maxime. To go with it.
Can't play for him.
Yeah. It's impressive to watch. It's been fun to watch, too.
It's been very fun to watch. I'm telling you, coming to your shoot-arounds, we see Raynaud get the tip in and making a 10-point game.
Hughes gives Louisville a second chance. Edwards will skip for Waterman. That'll spin out. Raynaud a rebound.
That's a double-double, the 23rd from USC. They're familiar with each other, both in the Pac-12 a season ago. And Hadley able to win that battle, but misses the chance for a three-point play.
He feels like the tough guy.
Chronicled, and frankly, they've been snake bitten by injuries all year long. They're without his son, Braden Shrewsbury, for the rest of the year, their third leading scorer. Matalako again tonight is a
guys that can step up for Notre Dame and contribute on the offensive side of the ball.
Burton off the mark, rebound Raynaud. Meanwhile, for Stanford, they return just once, and yet we're talking about them possibly having an opportunity to finish top 4. What a year for Kyle Smith and the Cardinal. And a foul on the floor. On the rebound attempt goes back to December when they lost Marcus Burton for 7 games. During arguably their toughest stretch of the year, certainly during the non-conference. Played Houston, they played Creighton, they played Georgia. Davis catch and shoot.
One thing for Tay Davis is if he's able to shoot the ball.
Thompson again. In and out, Raynaud, offensive board, missing from point blank range. And it's Knesny with 5. Driving on Thompson. Tough fadeaway jumper, no. And Raynaud snatches it off the rim.
Man, that's just not his game.
Doing their best to play themselves into the NCAA tournament. Meanwhile, Roper with 2 to shoot. Half with 3 fouls. Here's Burton with 3 to shoot. Kick out Davis to beat the horn. And Raynaud the rebound.
Look, man, Stanford's doing a great job there for 8 seconds straight. Caused a shot clock violation. The one thing that he has to have is a consistent jump shot. If he gets that, I think he definitely has an opportunity at the next.
13-2 burst put together by the Cardinal. Cross off the bounce. And Raynaud somehow saved it in. The Enfield's first off season with the Mustangs.
That's been his Achilles. He's struggled a little bit from the line, but you know, he's a big player. You can run a lot of your things through.
Harris around the Yigatolu screen to the baseline, and he comes up short. Cross had it for a moment, but it ricochets to Raynaud.
Well, Stanford's done a good job of cutting down their turnoff foul. It had to be earlier.
Gaylor with 3 to shoot. Agarwal, dagger. 15 times this year. Dion Brown out of the shot fake free throw line. Missed it wide to the right, and Raynaud vacuums it in.
They're making a concerted effort to go inside him.
Donald Hand. Back to the big fella. Benning leans in on Raynaud and missed it short.
That was good defense by Maxime. Raynaud staying grounded, not leading.
Having Cam and Raynaud share the floor at the same time here down the stretch of the first half. Agarwal drives. Raynaud on the offensive glass has the stick back.
Yeah, very patient by Maxime Raynaud. He waited for
it. Grows its lead to 20 with the Blake's bucket out of the break. Benning the spin, couldn't wrap it in. Brown tried to tap it back. It's taken by Raynaud.
Again, that's really aggressive defensively.
Josiah Sellers pulls up. Raynaud taps it, and last touched by Kelly.
Duke now averaging 14, better than 2-to-1 assist to turnover. He is definitely one of the more improved players in the country.
Someone Kyle Smith has called a pleasant surprise. He didn't think he'd be back into single digits for BC. Donald Hand Jr. off the heel, claimed by Raynaud inside.
Yeah, they've done a great job on hands. He just hasn't had many good looks, Chris.
Stanford balloons the lead back to 20. Benning. Comes up short.
Not the same. You're going up over Raynaud. Not quite the same defender. That's a little.
BC up to 40% from the field, but trailed by 20.
Raynaud 1 rebound away, right, Chris, from a double-double, I think.
That would be his 20. Shot clock reset to 20 regardless. Hastings misses the dunk, and McFarland misses the follow.
Well, thankfully.
Going to have to keep an eye on as well. Here's the Stanford starting lineup.
Sellers going to try to start it off with the three and does.
Oh my,
Oh, look, springing Washington step. Here comes Blakes in the open court. Jones in his face, puts him to the floor, but no problem. Blakes hit. You kind of had to play through a little more contact.
Well, certainly at the next level, you're going to have to in the playoffs, in the postseason. But how about that high-low passing? That's what I was talking about. What were the big...
El amigo de Wembanyama es ser el amigo rico, ¿no? De toda la banda.
De Wemby. Consiguió el triple y ahí está. Lo hace parte de Louisville. Ahí van con el francés. Buena finta. Y va a atacar, pero le quitaron el balón. Sin embargo, muy vivo su compañero para conseguir el encesto y recuperar.
Their shots, too. And there's a reason why you keep going to him. If he's making shots, go back to him.
Raynaud is doubled again. Another open three. And another three-pointer. This one for Jalen Blakes. 10th defensive rebound for Stanford.
Versus 10 offensive rebounds for Cal.
Insane. Back cut Blakes. He ties it and it's fouled. What a great delivery it was.
Isaiah Sellers. Ooh, what a handy dribble behind the back here. In traffic, too strong. Raynaud taps it out. Sellers along two is good.
Offensive rebound by Raynaud on that possession, tipping it half. 12 points for him already, 5 of 6 from the field.
Louisville had a 13-0 run, now a 9-0 run, and Sellers snaps it with a three from the corner.
That's the second time that the car unsuccessful.
Three ball, Agarwal. Wow, second three. Third three and 4:40 to play. Now here's Okpara against Waterman. Talk about digging in. Look at Chisholm to work with the right hand and scoring.
I'll tell you what, Chisholm's never seen a shot that he didn't like.
We can agree to disagree, but I think he was initially. Yeah, you might be right.
Raynaud across the floor. It sets up Sellers, and that's shooting practice for the USC transfer.
I know one thing, Raynaud.
Everybody with 24 points. Backing in the 7-2 center across the floor. Sellers catches baseline in the air. It's good.
Nice job by Isaiah Sellers.
And he has the daunting task of trying to handle Maxime Raynaud on this end. Raynaud out of the shot fake. Pitches to the corner. Sellers flashes the three.
How about your 7-footer? He control the tempo almost every game that they played and they've won. He's been that important.
It's Raynaud feeding Sellers for two.
How about your point forward up top, your point center?
Populated offensively.
Stojakovic has 5 of Cal's 10. Jalen Blakes curls off the screen and a pull-up jumper by Blakes.
Oh, nice on rhythm coming off a... Yeah, in the ACC, you mentioned it since he's got the last 8 basketball games. He's averaging over 20 points in the ACC.
Isaiah Sellers drains a three. His first.
Really good at this in his staff. Agarwal blitzed again. Raynaud down low. There's Young to the dunk. That time the pass worked. Well, very good ball rotation to traps it. Raynaud baseline. Double teamed. Found Okpara, who hesitated. Then shoots the three. I love the confidence. And not much you can do about it. Big time. Raynaud skips it into the corner. Sellers three. Good. Now that's a Maxime Raynaud pass now. Do it. The official standing right there. You're asking to get called for that. Agarwal. Raynaud down low. Cameron lays it in. Another great pass from the big man. Yeah, he's still playing trying to find Reed. And the big man brings it up the court himself. Down low. Okpara shot fake. Good. Great ball movement by Stanford. Raynaud maybe a little reluctant. The outside shot hasn't been falling. He finds Agarwal to the basket. Another assist for Maxime Raynaud.
Yeah. Boozer and Barry?
Yeah, why not?
I want to be on Boozer's side.
How many points you give him, Joe?
I give him 10. I give him 10.
They're getting open looks against his own. Coach Smith doesn't know what to do. They're carving him up man to man.
Nice cut, Oziah Sellers to finish at the rim.
He's had a
lot inside, broken up by Raynaud. Another takeaway for Stanford. Already the 5th Syracuse turnover. Agarwal.
You know, he's a very underrated. See it. The Cardinal can score a bucket here. Beautiful backdoor.
Oziah Sellers finishes off the assist from Maxime Raynaud.
Bring him into my locker room right now, unless this is all just a game. But Jimmy Butler, one of the most solid players in the NBA, a true professional up until now.
Jalen Blake sticks the 3. Back-to-back.
With a lot of time, there's no need to rush. Get a good shot, and there's no better shot than this one-on-one opportunity. Great pass.
Stinson, the slasher, off the feed from Raynaud, and a timeout Syracuse.
But we're about to find out.
Watkins guarding Raynaud. Sellers backdoor lays it in. He picks up where he left off.
Sellers constant motion, right, without the basket here. Hounding Blake's.
Yeah, he's long. Raynaud backdoor caught. Sellers has a new career high.
They've been setting that one up all game long. Sellers would like to get your momentum going to the basket, but Kidd still found a way to get that one in the hole.
Great pass, and Agarwal lays it in.
There is a Smith staple.
So Stanford using its depth a little more than usual with the big lead. Backdoor, nice pass, Raynaud found Jalen Blakes.
Well, Blake's coach before the game, and he says that they lack a lot of depth. They got to get it from their starters.
Blakes, the 3. He knocks it down. How about Jalen Blakes?
Right, like they Stanford pulled away with Raynaud on the bench. You got to go back to Raynaud, play through him.
How about the high-low feed? The big guy finds the cutting Agarwal.
Well, you know, everybody, all these
3 points in the last game, so he's already topped that here on the road today at Stanford. Yeah, Virginia's hit its last 4 shots. Sellers, nice drive, scoops it up and in. The Wahoos put together a full 40 minutes here today on the road. Nice backdoor cut, Young, and a terrific find from Raynaud. That's one thing you got to appreciate about Simpson Glass. And when the guards rebound, they don't need an outlet. 4 triples from 3 different guys. Meanwhile, Stanford effective here early, Debbie, off the bounce. That's it. Raynaud gets a touch. Immediately the double comes, and the dive to the bucket for Donovan Young, and a foul. Beth Mullins alongside Debbie Antonelli, and you continue to hear Raynaud barking out instructions, and he gets the assist. And the backdoor jam for Sellers. I look.
3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Sellers, beautiful move. He got hit and count the hoop. Their last 3 shots. Raynaud, nice pump fake. Got Wessler in the air. Then leaves it underneath. Sellers lays it in. Stanford up 44-38.
He carries himself as such as the older brother. Good burst by Sellers, hanging in the air for 2.
You can see Sellers' confidence growing, and again, as a
Here's going to be the same way.
Double on Raynaud.
Good pass.
Stinson rolling to the cup and getting extra minutes today is Stinson.
Raynaud has to track it down. Now here's Blake's under some pressure. Attacking on Biddle. And he scores.
Went in looking for the foul, didn't get it, but was.
And a Cardinal a little bit short-handed in this game tonight. A couple of key guards out for Kyle Smith as a foul. The roll counted. Aiden Cameron, and 1 for the Cardinal.
Yeah, but
Maxime Raynaud, the pump fake. Ryan Agarwal steps out for 3.
he's hit some big baskets.
Inside to Cameron. Beautiful pass from Raynaud.
Draft, that NBA draft that I believe was the best NBA draft in history. Peja Stojakovic multiple times All-Star, great player.
And you ran into him today at the game, and he...
3-star recruit. 25, 5 and 5 in high school. As Agarwal hits the 3, the redshirt sophomore from Texas.
There's something about that.
This turned Stanford over a couple of times, and they almost coaxed a travel out of Gieler there. Great pass. Stinson cutting along the baseline from Raynaud.
How about Raynaud? He could have pulled it out. Steve Frankowski and Wayne Hunter, those guys have been around. So they'll get it together.
An alley-oop exceptionnel from Raynaud to Stinson.
Now, wait a minute.
Two guys, physically strong, physically get after you. Love to play through contact. That's a beautiful pump fake.
Blake's left alone and buries the 3. Jalen.
High-low, Cameron lays it in. Good look from Raynaud. He can pass as well.
Yeah.
Cameron. Bounce pass, top side.
Look at the sharing.
Sellers. Got it.
Beautiful. Sellers has kind of a Devin.
6'10" post player. There's Raynaud over the top.
7-1 Raynaud feeds Aiden Cameron.
Well, that's good basketball. You go in for a second, see if they can keep Stanford off the glass, off the board.
Raynaud 3 for 6 from deep. Everyone else was 1 for 10. Sellers, that'll help out.
Well, he's been quiet, but he's only good job
Stanford, and it just seems good things are happening when Agarwal's on the floor.
Now, Roxy, he's active, and he does a nice job of spotting up, finding the open seam, and knocking down 3-point shot right on cue. You're getting Maxime Raynaud playing one-on-one in the post, so you don't have to worry about helping on him. You got to get out there and get back to your guy, and Stanford hasn't done that.
Ryan Agarwal again. 15 now.
It's a tough, task to go over the top of Maxime and score.
Try to shoot over 7-1. And now he sees over the top. It's the cutting Chizamak Para, who's fouled, and will get to the line.
For this one, Roxy, but they earned it, and they needed to. They were down big early.
Darren Saran spots up for 3. And he was a big contributor last year at UC.
Undergraduates transfer since 2009. And they've got 3 of them on this team alone. See a couple of them later. Gieler, 3, rattles down.
Gieler did a great job of becoming available on the floor.
Stanford talking about length. Started Cameron at 6'10", Raynaud at 7'1". Gieler from way downtown. Benny is feeling it. That's his opening day in college basketball. Doubleheader here on ACC Network Extra. Sellers! Get up! Player had to leave. An all-time leader in wins in NCAA history. Akpara, the all-Ivy player. Bank shot's good for Chisholm. Didn't play much in the first half because of...
As well, you can have some teaching points.
Catania's scored 6 here in the second half. JUCO transfer. And nice back cuts. Agarwal, back-to-back buckets.
Digit advantage. They're putting their heads down and just taking that thing to the hole.
Biggest lead for the Golden Flash. Stanford has not scored in almost 3 minutes.
A bad wild pass by Raynaud trying to find his other big. Created a very difficult situation in a jump shot there, twisting and turning, and Raynaud snatching another board, but then he turns it over. A second turnover for Raynaud and 3 possessions.
Barnett.
Flashes were able to get back inside for a bucket, and they've got 2 buckets inside here in this half. Once a slam, and that one off glass underneath, and they turn it over again. Another steal. A long triple try.
6-0 run for the Cardinals. Losing the basketball is Raynaud. Here's someone in the open court working on.
He was an all-star before he went to the Olympics, but he came back an all-NBA performer when he came back.
Going up against you in practice didn't hurt him either.
That was teammates.
Officially, it is 8 on the night. Oh, turnover for the Cardinal.
Yeah, a little sloppy there. They got 3 guys within about 8 feet of each other.
But of course, Mark Pope leaves, and so does Adams to get back home closer to his family in Torrance. He's here in Northridge having an amazing year. The fact he's not playing tonight is a major deficit
Esta posesión es bien importante y lo sabe, por eso es que pidieron el tiempo fuera. Y lo sabe también Louisville, que está presionando la falta ofensiva. Y se va a ir el francés.
Score for about 10.5 minutes. Dort's in the game right now. Raynaud.
It's a foul. Absolute foul.
All right, hang on a second now. Ted Valentine's calling it. Pavlovich doinked right off on Parra's arm, and then Raynaud will drive it. Try to go behind his back. He went off his shoe. 2. They've got the ball in the hands of Raynaud. And he lost it with contact. And then Gieler couldn't take it away from Campbell. Stoyakov.
94 made field goals this year, Corey, for James Scott.
And throw 1-3 in the mix with that. But he's also, it's not all about the dunk, but it is a huge part of what he does and his connection with Chuck.
Week in Charlotte, where I think they are a real threat. That ball got knocked away from Raynaud by Scott. If their defense is emerging, as Pat Kelsey tells us, and their threat of, this guy's been a perfect fit here.
He absolutely has been.
That ball got knocked away. Nice play defensively. Ansel Amibe. Here's Edwards. Hadley a 3-ball. Too strong.
Knowing that all the contact is forced by Chucky Hepburn, who just goes to take the basketball back.
Yeah, Raynaud finally collected, and then he fired a pass out of bounds, trying to go to Campbell.
Fortunate for Raynaud, I thought he landed on someone's. That's him.
Yeah. Raynaud slipped the screen and couldn't catch the bullet pass from Agarwal. Here is Edwards, lobs, and boy, he threw it.
Davis on him and J.R. Knesny, you have to look for him right now.
Tay Davis giving up 4 or 5 inches on Raynaud, and a whistle makes the 5th turn.
Somebody needs to cut off the ball. Then, yeah, great job right there.
Almost picked by Burton, and he secures it. 2-on-1. Transit player. 9-0 Notre Dame run. And an offensive foul on Raynaud.
On the single digits, now the pressure's back on Stanford.
SMU has 13 second chance points in this game. Raynaud has it knocked loose. Mustangs on a fast break, and Edwards lays it in.
He'll get there. He's a competitor.
Raynaud picked up by Venning and whistled for traveling.
Yeah, well, you can see the difference. Maxime Raynaud's, kind of on that short in college now. You got to try to knock him off his game. Just try to get it out of his hands and change the defense up a little bit. And that's what Coach Grant said he wants to do. And they've been a great defensive team this year, so he'll have some tricks up his Raynaud in the middle of the paint.
Now Hastings with Venning on the bench with those 2 fouls. And it's an offensive foul against Stanford.
It's like Stanford's rolled out the red carpet for the Cardinals to say, hey, drive it to the middle.
And a foul. And Mark Madsen trying to skid from
the Badger State, Wisconsin. Played Wisconsin Lutheran High School under an undefeated season. Got young and brother. Uh-oh. Give it back.
Flag to Knipple over the top.
When you make them, it's easier to win.
They made their shots against Carolina. Poor pass there. It's their only win on the East Coast on the year. Obviously, the headline was Jalen. These first 4 minutes for Stanford right out of the gate of the second half going to be important. Double team. Got to get something up. With 5 on the shot clock, they don't get anything up. Turnover.
And he gets the ball where he wants to get it.
Score. Raynaud leads the ACC in scoring and rebounding. And he throws this one into the front row. An early turnover for Stanford.
Has just been struggling scoring the ball in half court, really any type of way. They've been struggling scoring. They have to be able to create turnovers and then look to get out and get easy opportunities in transition.
So you saw Raynaud. Found the Butler, blocked by Raynaud.
One thing you can't do if you're North Carolina State, you can't be hesitant going to the rim. Just that little second right there allowed Raynaud to come over and get.
Trying to hit his teammate cutting to the bucket. That was not a great pass.
Yeah.
And a Stanford turnover. Hildreth out into the open. In attack. Raynaud is screaming at some of his teammates, I think, to start moving. Bad pass stolen by Salas. Wake might have an advantage. Salas on the attack. Clock winding down. Along the baseline, got tripped up. And did he call a timeout? No, he was out of bounds. So that's a turnover.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because he was just before he was.
Raynaud, not a great pass. Anticipated by Johnson. He steals it away. And he'll lay it in. So there's the double. Big man to big man. Raynaud traveled.
Well, the immediate double team. The double team's coming from different spots, Dave. It's sometime off the catch.
The game plan for the Mustangs is they're going to guard everyone else and guard Maxime Raynaud one-on-one and force him to score ball off the bounce. Is creating issues.
Raynaud stolen away. Edwards. They really needed it. Right on that NCAA tournament bubble. Joe Lunardi has them next 4 out. They're at home. And they have played possessed. Stolen away again. Edwards right to the rim for 2.
Friend up 12. It's all about ball security here if you're the Cardinal.
Raynaud sets the screen for Blakes, and it was not a legal screen. He lost his footing and knocked over Jake.
Made for corner pocket 3.
Stanford has their biggest lead at 12.
Oh, that was a tough one right there.
Watkins goes right at Raynaud and draws the
baskets because they can't score against this Cardinal D. There's a steal.
Raynaud double team, threw it away. Here comes Davis. He keeps it. Freshman misses it.
He's played well tonight. Shot clock winding down. Blake's down low. Raynaud pushed off. They call the offensive foul.
Yeah, down there, I think.
Ball. 17-15 in favor of the Tar Heels. Their second lead of the game. Raynaud walked.
You know, it's funny, Tom. I would.
Sellers passes up the 3. Picks up his dribble underneath the basket, but then was bailed out. But a takeaway, and here comes Trimble. He'll give it up.
Draws fouls. He gets an opportunity then to get to that free throw line.
Hildreth knocks it away from Raynaud. Hildreth gets it back.
Attacked over to the game in the first half. Let's see if he can get himself off the launch pad here in the second half.
And Hildreth just 1 for 7 in the opening half, but comes up with a steal.
He makes a big defensive play. Sometimes that's the thing that gets you off at the University of Duke, right? So they won a national championship. And if they can save some minutes on flag now, as Raynaud turns the ball over, they're going to take advantage of putting him on the bench late in games.
Stanford, Blakes. And then Raynaud sends that one into the front row. Back-to-back turnovers.
They can wind it down. They're not going to get the last shot of the half, but they can wind the clock down, maybe make a short clock for the Hokies.
And an offensive foul on Stanford.
Yep, and the officials are consistent.
Raynaud had it knocked off his leg.
Yeah, great defense. I mean, when the ball goes into Maxime Raynaud, to stretch the floor, especially with Cam Corn on the inside.
Yeah, Guillermo Diaz-Graham, only 24%. He's a much better shooter than that. He's really the only Pitt player not shooting the basketball well.
And that's something we saw Jeff Capel, actually Kyle Smith and his staff, a tremendous amount of credit for the guys they were able to bring in this year.
It is obviously a world-class institution. Cam Corn with the garbage.
Picking up the slack with Ian Shefflin sitting over there on that bench with 2 fouls.
And Zachary couldn't corral as he goes crashing into. Shefflin deflected that pass. 3 to shoot. Raynaud loses the handle, and it's scooped up by Locken.
Great job there by Clemson. Just never allowed Stanford to get comfortable. Rebounding machine. When he gets his hands on the ball, it's not coming out. He's got very strong hands and a great time that time finishing.
Picked off by Heidbreeder.
Gives them a way bigger margin for error than a lot of teams when you can bring quality guys off the bench like Oregon can.
Raynaud throws a fastball right into Kwame Evans, and here comes Bamba.
The year. And Merrimack has a team just 30% on their threes, and the offensive numbers are not pretty, but that's what they do. And they also control the tempo, make it difficult for you to get in runs. We're playing without Benny Giler tonight. He is battling an illness. Stanford hoping they'll have him on Saturday, when the Cardinal will take on Oregon down in San Jose. And a travel on Maxime Raynaud. And a turn. 4 fouls, by the way, on Ryan Agarwal now. And it's poked away, and Clark came away with it.
They weren't successful, but it definitely was an aggressive approach.
Stinson was not ready for the ball, and Raynaud threw it to him.
This season. Double-double in all but one game, and that was the last game. Pass a little too high for Stinson there.
Well, I like the back cut by Stinson, and the pass maybe could have been led to getting some comfort, some breathing room.
A couple of buckets or stops. Raynaud giving it away. Nelson.
Blakes again. Raynaud being fronted. Draws a quadruple team. Just about everyone showed up for Cal Poly.
Yeah, and he hesitated. He brought the ball down, and big guys, when they bring it down.
Rest of the way on both sides here. 9 fouls for Cal Poly, 7 for the Cardinal. Blakes, Raynaud. The fake, and then they got their wires crossed looking for Akpara. He zigged when he should have.
Second season at Grand Canyon for War. He spent 4 years at Oregon. Raynaud loses the handle. A takeaway for Harrison. And he gives it right down. Sellers, who came off the bench, finds Blakes. And it's going the other way. Offensive foul away from Sellers. Feeds Raynaud, and boy, he shuffled those feet underneath, whistled for traveling.
That transferred back to be with the Broncos for this season. On the left side, bounce down low. Raynaud right through his fingertips and over the baseline for the turnover.
Well, I tell you what,
it's an entry pass. Blakes, crossover. Get caught deep. And what do we have? 3 seconds. And that'll give it over to Santa Clara after
one of those special guys.
Raynaud battling with Buki Aboye, and he lost the ball out of bounds, and the Bronco bench erupts for Buki.
Yeah, because there's that matchup again down low.
And there's no reason for Raynaud to pass out of that. It's got to be an offensive foul. And Cameron Tongue may have lost the first.
Get off for him. We'll see if now they're deciding to go into their offense and maybe get a better look.
And an errant pass had slipped away from Maxime Raynaud. Attacking 3-on-3. Spacing out, Terrence Jones.
Maxime Raynaud's kept some possessions alive, Roxy. They're ice cold to start the second half.
And a whistle and an illegal screen and an offensive foul on Maxime Raynaud of State. Wall the rebound.
Yeah, zones making Norfolk play a little bit more uncomfortably.
And on the sideline, out of bounds, a turnover by the Cardinals.
Well, the 3-point. Keep it alive. Giler 3. No good. Raynaud. He played volleyball down low. And Maxime traveled. And you've known Kyle Smith a long time. We'll get into it. Difficult to defend. Raynaud, the 2-man game with Giler. How effective has that pick and roll been for Raynaud? He throws it away.
Well, usually it's pretty good.
Now Johnson's been
wide open, uncontested, but he has just been a dagger in their, scoring.
Raynaud let that one go off of his head, out of play.
Now, this has been a run, Tim. This has been on the perimeter shots.
He's leasing with an option to buy.
That's right.
And a steal by Trent McLaughlin. And Stanford trying to break out, and the goaltend. Maxime Raynaud and missing the 3, and Zion Richardson the rebound, but then Stanford gets it right back. And then an errant pass goes out of bounds, and it belongs to Cal State Fullerton.
Well, 2 heady plays the last 2.
Ball knocked away, and Maxime Raynaud comes away with it and then tries to lead Osiah Sellers, but throws it into the front row, and Stanford gives it right back to him.
And 2 head coaches that had to work for that first job. Not a play. Jeff Wilburn, he didn't get his first head coaching job until he was 61 years old.
Blake's again showing his defense. Got a deflection, turned it over to a steal. His on-ball defense has been spot on.
Score at Notre Dame Prep in the Phoenix area. Hails from Scottsdale. Stanford is very excited about this 5-man new class. Akins all the way up.
This is your true pass-first point guard here. The floor general. Dropping it off. Rico Gillespie is short with the jump hook. It's Raynaud with the board.
Yeah, you can see D1 basketball. KD, Kevin Durant, and Carmelo Anthony. Pretty good company.
Yeah, I'll say.
Desde que dejaron el Pac-12, una conferencia del Pacífico que prácticamente desapareció y su nivel es muy bajo comparado con lo que llegó a vivirse.
El otro mantiene a sus jugadores y bien dices los requerimientos académicos de Stanford. El Ali y el Loop ahora sí arriba se combinan bien y Louisville logra empatar. Maneja bien el balón a ver qué puede hacer. Arriba y lo vuelve a encontrar. Ahí está otra vez Scott, está haciendo...
Ahí recuperó Raynaud los 2 puntos que no pudo anotar desde tiro libre. Y mira lo que es estar condicionado.
A ver, posesión para empatar o para ganar. Y ahí está, consiguiendo el enceste. Y esto se ha empatado.
To hit threes, open looks around the perimeter. You may have to adjust a little bit.
Here's Mady Sissoko on the drop-off, and Sissoko, the first non-Stoyaks, 11 rebounds a game. Tucker into the paint, lobs it up for the big man Dort, and count. Here's Campbell for Cal, which, by the way, has gone way deep into the bench. Vladimir Pavlovich wearing 33.
Not shy when it comes to offense. Here's Hepburn. On the drive, lob, Scott the catch and dunk.
You know, the best part about that, the timing of Scott.
And the 4th largest crowd in the last 6 years here today at the KFC Young Center, and they get a dunk from Scott off the Edwards feed.
Now he's standing in a defensive stance at midcourt. His team with their largest lead of the game at 7. Davis, no. Second chance, draws a foul. Meanwhile, Raynaud's just been short around the rim a handful of times tonight. Good defense there on Tay Davis.
Second half, a team that's lost just once all season in conference play on the road as Yigitolu gets hit, and free throws on the way for the kickball called. Shot clock reset to 20 regardless. Hastings misses the dunk. And McFarland misses
on Saturday, so he knocked down a couple threes in that one, knocks down another one here.
Ryan Agarwal, a foul. And that will put Sissoko at the line.
Dog taking away the 3 ball from Duke.
Well, he's absolutely capable, Dickie V, of having a fantastic game. But you see the Blue Devils going inside early. OB, we've for 45 years and changed the college basketball game, all because Red Auerbach got the best of you in the trade.
It's wide open on the feet from Flag. Wall with the basket. Best looking basket today so far for Stanford. Flag. Watch again.
In the ISO situation, get some movement from side to side off the pick and roll downhill so you can have the advantage like that right there. Trey Parker making a great play at the rim.
I don't think you had to. But you got to help your team, and he's trying to help them from the bench. They're hoping to have him back on Saturday. NC State will be here. Spillers against Raynaud scores.
I love his ability just to go 7-footer at the three-point line, but he does it well.
Stanford making a little push here at the end of the half. Pass, not a shot. Johnson finds Reed, who got stopped at the rim, got his own miss. 6:30. You got a former Pac-12 school, Arizona, hosting Texas Tech. That's a really good game late at night on Saturday. Wake Forest called time.
His teammates need help right now. And usually that's Jalen Blake's job, but he's unavailable.
Edwards lobbing in. Colbert couldn't bring it in. 9 threes in this game, shooting better than 50% from deep. Hoopy going inside this time. Big time finish. Cement Yigitolu.
I like the Orange. Need a bucket here to kind of calm the run.
It's Lampkin missing short, but a late whistle for a foul. It's on Raynaud. And it will and finish for Gaylor. 9-point lead for the Cardinal, approaching a minute left to play at Maples. Lampkin fouled. Raynaud had been knocked down.
Find the ball of the hole.
Thomas laid it off for Ewan, and Ewan has a great touch around the basket.
He really did. He frustrated, tried to force something up. He finds one of his teammates that finds another one of his teammates for a corner pocket three.
Stanford has their biggest lead at 12.
Jackson has not scored. Stanford's done a nice job on that duo. That's a nice feed right there, and the finish by Van Allen Lubin, a transfer from Vanderbilt.
You know, to talk about scoring at 3 levels.
And that's a beautiful feed for the slam at the other end by Washington. Rebounds. Stanford's single-season record for double-doubles in a season is here's a beautiful pass from Cadeau and the easy lay-in for... It's a 1-point game. Another nice feed by Cadeau.
The only
he got to the free throw line, something he does very well. Hildreth over to Reed, going hard at Raynaud, and one. Wow, nice court vision down the road to take on NC State in Raleigh. Hildreth's pass knocked away.
Good slip. He ghosts that screen right there, which means he goes like he's going to set it and then slips past it. Nice feed. Good dish inside to Buchanan.
During the game. 10 in the second half. He has 16. Lowell is flying above the rim. Back to back.
So give Kyle Smith and his staff a tremendous amount of credit for the guys they were able to bring in this year.
It is obviously a world-class institution.
Trying to find a way to build some momentum here with a little over 8 minutes remaining.
Corin strong, and there's a reverse. He's making sure he's getting out.
And Benny Gaylor not available. You could see some Anthony Batson Jr. at some point in that role. As down the lane, and a foul that will get David Murray to the line for Merrimack. Murray missing down low, and the rebound, Maxime Raynaud, his 90% on his threes.
Yeah, it's a great percentage for a 7-footer, period, end of story.
Stanford 9 for 17 outside the arc, and now the defensive play, Raynaud blocks the shot.
Basketball, tremendous ball handler.
9-point Stanford lead. Clark the lob and the finish, Brian Itonu.
And he can do that too.
5-1. Trevin Lenhart. This is a good player right here. And so is Carter Welling. We're going to have a blocking foul on Oziah Sellers.
Yeah.
Cal's good this year.
Oh, they're deep. It's going to be a barn burner this Saturday, but let's not get ahead of ourselves yet.
Missing the lob.
Now you see Stanford going to a little bit of their matchup zone. See if they can slow down Utah Valley.
Nelson off for Welling. Misses right at the rim.
Things happen.
Under 8 to play, first half. Little backdoor dish around the way and able to hit. Kuntz sliding in behind Raynaud.
About 4 months from now. Grand Canyon fresh off a victory over Norfolk State at home. And they go inside to Duke Brennan. Grand Canyon one and done on their... Harrison on a pocket pass to Brennan.
Beautiful pocket pass. You called it, Chris. Yeah, he's just outstanding. Coming into the game, 43% from three-point range, leading his team. You can't say that about most teams with a 7-1 center. Now he gets this.
Keeping that dribble going. Inside of 6 minutes to play. There's the bounce. Oh, and he goes to the dunk, and Kamen made contact according to
The Spartans, this is what they want. They're used to this. They want to get it up and down to the rim and score.
And it goes for Mello Baines, the freshman from
T.Y. Johnson.
A little bit more length put on Johnson.
Yeah, good point, good call, Tim.
Wow, Tomba couldn't get that one to spin around and in. That was a great move.
Play Stanford in their gym. A little different game.
Going inside for NAU, Carson Tout underneath, and the game's first points for the Lumberjacks. It's her from Duke. Carson Tout bangs his way in against Maxime Raynaud. But the offensive rebound, Ryan...
The defense gave him, scored it towards the baseline.
Nice drop off and find Trent McLaughlin to Carson Tout.
Night for Ryan Agarwal. Oakland Ford penetrates. And the push shot and the roll for Carson Tout.
Again,
home to the Bay Area. He said he was so happy to be home. One of his high school teammates, Jalen Thompson, unavailable for the Cardinal tonight. He's a East Bay native from Oakland.
Two starters down for Cal today. Jeremiah Wilkinson, 6th man of the year, who's moved into the lineup of late. Out with a concussion, their point guard, Javon.
Traore, a transfer from Long Beach State, inside against Raynaud. Score.
Traore have come from beyond the arc. They are shooting 13% from the floor, 3 for 23. And a nice job there by Tay Davis.
He will back it out beyond the three-point line. Working on Raynaud, head-to-head, and up and in.
How good. Nice to do that, lead the conference. And finally, you talk about a favorite, him and Duncan.
Proctor
Special.
taking on Raynaud. The scoop, no. Raynaud defended that beautifully. Here's the heave.
And here's Powell. Backdoor cut. Dongo. 2, 1. At the buzzer, blocked by Raynaud.
Styles, who couldn't handle. Styles against Raynaud. Step back, short, tipped, rebound number 8.
To be there on the spot and finish. Stanford hanging tough early despite being down a couple of guys.
Johnson to the basket. No. Raynaud snatches the rebound.
And then there's not a whole lot of spread between everybody else, but definitely think that's a league that can get 5 teams in, possibly.
North Carolina in a wild one, 96-92. Came away with a win. Great block by Raynaud. And a Brenneman was, well, understandably so. I mean, Stanford's had a nice year. Davison air ball, and that is off.
That's one thing you got to appreciate about 7-1. I've mentioned his guard-like skills, but he sees the floor so well, and he's a willing passer. And also a disruptive.
The wall defended.
Corin brought to this Pittsburgh team from Florida State this year.
Start with offensive rebounding. He's already shown that off, but he's a guy, not much a back-to-basket scorer, but he is a face-up guy.
14 points. Meanwhile, Raynaud has 21. 8th time this year. He's gone over 20 for Stanford. Jalen Lowe.
You tell me. I'm just glad I don't have to coach against him. That's all I know.
Zachary rims out. Shefflin, the offensive.
That dunker spot just missed the layup.
Look at Raynaud in the defensive position here against Shellstad. Shellstad's first points of the night.
He has to get going, but some arenas work colder than others.
Phillips cut off, so he'll shoot it. Cook battling for it. He's had a good.
Step back, Bud Clark. And Osiah Sellers flies.
Dort clears it.
Stojakovic. Over Raynaud. Even closer. After a terrible start, the Bears have made 4 of their last 5 shots. Oh, with Joseph going right at Raynaud.
Put him in the mix.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, graduating from Duke in 3 years, not easy to do. Nelson amongst the trees. Well, to just get that to the rim.
Bondel.
Yeah, they're probing every opportunity, seeing what the defense they can get off the defense.
They draw Raynaud out, the step back. Off the mark, Agarwal with.
Been held to 2 points so far. It comes in averaging 22.5 a game. And there's the quick trigger from the foul line on that step back, create a little space. Really closing out on guys like Benny Gieler and not wanting to give him a look. Reverse on the baseline by Brian Moore Jr., and we have a 1-point game.
Not to be outmatched. Tim, how about Jalen Blake says, what you can do, I can do better. That's a pretty good finish by Jalen Blake.
Johnson trying to draw the foul. Fast break. DeBrew, really consistent player. 9 points a game. 3 on the way is it?
Well, how about that for the shimmy? Benny Gieler doing a nice job on McLaughlin.
Carson Tout 2 on the shot clock, up 1 foot.
The offensive rebound, Jack Wistris. And the roll, Kendrick DeLuna gives Cal State Fullerton 11 in the first half. 20-2 surge for the Cardinal. John Mikey square and one.
Raynaud was able to knock that shot down. He will be a hard handle to play at 3 levels.
Sternitsky with a little hesitation move, and dare I say, a Euro.
Look at this, 5'11" on 7-1.
Oh, rattles out. But he's not afraid of this.
Penn State. Sullinger, the trigger man. Puts it for Hornby. It goes right back to him. I was thinking about it, Scott, just like you called, but is rejected.
Play your sister 10 times. How many times do you win? He says 11, without hesitation.
She dropped a double nickel earlier this season as we see Judson Martindale into the... A kid from the Metroplex, Agarwal, is when he was being recruited, he was one of the best three-point shooters in the country. His game has really evolved. You see another rebound. That's just
good. Doze off, and this is Will's study hall.
Speaking of math, it is all academic now, as you mentioned before.
Geeler. Here's Waterman trying to beat Raynaud on the drive and couldn't finish it.
And give Raynaud a tremendous... Throwing the cards a little bit out of kilter.
Hadley fights through the baseline and scores.
But that's the one area you're always going to be exposed against a 1-3 court.
If you can get out in transition and get some early opportunities, that'd be ideal for both teams.
That is really well defended by Raynaud.
Basket. Skipped it to the corner and then air ball.
DJ Campbell fumbles it away, and that goes inside 8 minutes to go and his 4 fouls. So Kyle Smith letting you know what he thinks of this period of time where it's critical to stop the bleeding because Cal keeps coming.
Look for the open man.
Styles attacking Raynaud. Turns. The tip by Middlebrook's not there, but a whistle. Hill, he's not a great outside shooter. That's a long 2. Cameron snags the caramel.
Blakes, who's had a terrific year, out for a second straight game with a head injury. They hope to have him back on Saturday. Attacking the basket. What a move from Johnson.
Player of the year, but with Cooper Flag and the highlights and the sizzle, it's just going to be difficult.
Lampkin through the contact and scores over the top of Raynaud for him. Too much time winding off here for Syracuse. Starling keeps it. And Blake's
This is the most shot clock Florida State's used this game. Ewan going right at Raynaud. Off the glass.
Oh, what a move. Started to the bucket right there. Puts him at 42. But Raynaud using his length around the basket with the offhand. Nothing but the backboard in. And then he goes and shoots some glass. Impressive. And that's their biggest lead of the game, if I'm correct. Up 7 with the momentum, trying to keep it going to the locker in these final 3 minutes.
A travel on Jameer Watkins.
Medals in the Paris Olympics. Proud of what Steve has done.
Bo Bowen, right as the shot clock was expired.
That one just didn't have much of a shot at all.
Well, the big guy. Blake's has an NBA body. He is really put together. And then right back the other end, it's Lubin who has 8. We've had 9 lead changes and 10 ties. 3 minutes exactly to go. Step back 3 attempt.
Honest offensive. Johnson puts it on the floor. That's for his speed.
Well, also we'll start 2 freshmen with Jacob Kofi on the front line to bring a little more size to that Raynaud matchup. And a situation there right away where you see
Poteet goes right at the big man, but the left won't go.
He had a sure to big-time defensive play.
Burnham left alone. The defenders thought he was going to pass and were tied again at 4.
And gets the easy finish.
Yeah, Austin's every bit of 6'7", 210 pounds, a senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
That was a confident play by
to Ian Shefflin. That time he didn't get it, but he did draw that third foul.
Zachary off 2 feet. So tough on both sides. Clemson 7-1 in this building this year. Their only loss in overtime to Memphis. Wiggins up and under, no. Fighting for the rebound.
And Malik Edby, but kept alive by the Warriors. On the drive on the baseline and the roll for Armandus Plantauskas.
Yep.
Good recovery defensively from Stanford as he turned to the basket, the scoop, and on the offensive glass.
Waxer shirts over Raynaud.
Nothing like a 7. See if they can keep Utah Valley off their mark. They did the last possession.
Raynaud 12-12, defending Welling, misses the reverse. Sellers slaps it away.
Great feed, big fella to his teammate.
Stinson with 7 points in his first collegiate game. Good take by Holcomb. It's Jackson Holcomb the rest here.
Williams cradles it, and the finger roll drops through.
What I love, what Williams did on that play. Impeccable. Jump shot is released on time. Great balance back into the zone.
More, and it settles in. So the two-team floor, shot clock down to 5. Grant Foster with a hand in his face. Raynaud rejects it. Tough. Raynaud up to a game-high 16 points. This is Harrison out of the shot fake. Put too much on the baseline jump shot.
And Raynaud, and Adama Alpha-Ball said he's the smartest guy I know. Los into the paint. Finger roll blocked out to Kosi Akametu. Kosi with Brenton Napper to the bench. Christoph Tilley scores over Raynaud. Rarely do you see.
Going to get you one-on-one, get you on your heels, and pull up on you.
Christian Ings for Norfolk. Ryan Moore Jr. Christian Ings, high off the window.
Roxy, he's done that all night.
Here's Johnson, 29 points a game. Tamba, little short for the wing from Spain, and Stanford gets. And Cardinal came into tonight playing one of the slowest paces in the NCAA. They were the 20th slowest team in the country. On the way up.
Cardinal. Carson Tout moves in. And the quick jump hook, and Raynaud elevates for the rebound. And Maxime. Carson Tout too strong, and Ozias Sellers the rebound.
Here's Campbell for Cal, which, by the way, has gone way deep into the bench. Vladimir Pavlovich wearing 33. It's his 3rd game of the year.
Stojakovic has a potential screening.
Stojakovic breaks late to the basket, and that's the end of the first half. Stanford ends it with an air ball.
DJ Campbell fumbles it away, and that goes off of DJ Campbell, and it belongs to Stanford with 3.5.
Lead. Georgia Tech can kind of be a little bit more, not loose with the ball, but they can be patient offensively. They don't have to force anything. They have to look for the open opportunity. Not a bad pass right there by Powell.
Looking for 7 seconds.
You got to go downhill.
Steve Sutton realized with 4 with 3. Had the right idea. Good defense, though, from Raynaud.
Does it well. Stanford making a little push here at the end of the half. Pass, not a shot. That was a pass, and not a great one for Mildred.
Great job by Maxime.
Got his own miss. Now Johnson 3, way off the mark. Ball tipped back again. Johnson, pass deflected and stolen away.
Well, that's a good opportunity for Stanford to stay with it. They got off it.
You got former Pac-12 school Arizona hosting Texas Tech. That's a really good game late at night on Saturday. Wake Forest called timeout and now turns it over. Raynaud back in the game. Tipped him to. Gets out of trouble. Shot clock at 10. Now Raynaud steals the pass. Miller's trying to find Reed. And the big man brings it up.
Teams from this conference looking to get a bid.
Now the high lob inside, broken up by Raynaud. Another takeaway for Stanford. Already the fitting up top. Shot clock in a single digits. Lampkin. The behind-the-back pass, off target and taken by Raynaud.
It's a great thought, great look, poor execution. Can they score? Is the question. I feel like a bucket here really turn the tide and then give it away on a sloppy bounce pass.
Perhaps trying to do too much.
By Miami in this first half. Swartz trailing 3, too strong. Rebound and the touch pass was deflected.
Yeah, maybe a little too aggressive there with that touch pass, trying to get it underneath the lid.
Keep State and rally. Eldred's pass knocked away. Who else? Raynaud.
Just using his length defensively now.
Stanford need to do to get Raynaud back involved offensively. They need his scoring.
They need his scoring, but they're going to need someone else to make a play because the Panthers are going to load up on Raynaud and force someone else to have to beat them.
They were able to, get a tough couple challenge games in there, and now they toughened up.
Well, Clark had it slip out of his hands.
And he looked at his hands like, hands don't fail me now.
Of its family recently, his former manager Brandon Jackson passed away. He was a manager the first 4 years of the Johnny Dawkins era from 2008 to 2012 and made a huge impact on the program. Now I had a chance to...
Oh, this is going to be an interesting year in the ACC. I can't believe it starts this Saturday with Cal and Stanford scoring on.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Man, yeah. There's Raynaud. By the way, SEC undefeated in the SEC 8.
The miss. He'll go coast to coast.
Good pass.
A steal for Raynaud and followed from up in British Columbia, Canada, to play for the Broncos. 4 to shoot, and it's taken away. Here comes Raynaud, 3-on-3. Right to the basket.
Coming into the game, 43% from three-point range, leading his team. You can't say that about most teams with a 7-1 center. Now he gets the steal.
Broncos not taking care of the basketball. Sellers to the basket.
9 straight for Stanford. Ball poked away by Benny Geeler. Stanford a steal. And a really good start for the Cardinals up this West Coast trip playing UC Davis. A turnover by the Spartans.
You can see Stanford's size giving the Spartans some problems early in this game.
Maxime Raynaud the steal, then it's off the foot and a kick on Kawel Mading, and it belongs to State.
Jalen Blake says, what you can do, I can do better. That's a pretty good finish by Jalen Blake.
Johnson trying to draw the foul. Fast break. Akpara. Double teaming.
Battle for the rebound, and Zion Richardson controls for the Titans. And a hustle by Maxime Raynaud, diving for the loose ball and trying to get it tied. Knocked away by Raynaud, who dives for the loose ball, and Stanford comes away with it. The hustle from Maxime Raynaud. Ball knocked away, and Maxime Raynaud comes away with it and then tries to lead Osiah Sellers.
He'll stay down low. I love the jump hook over the left shoulder. Nice size, nice finish, nice touch around the rim.
Raynaud steals it away. Showtime! 5+ minute scoring drought for Denver. Stanford's on a 15-2 run. That'll help.
Nice job by Geeler getting his hands in, digging down.
Tried to punish the smaller defender in size, trying to use his length with jump hooks that just aren't falling early on.
Sullinger. Tough shot of the 7-1 Raynaud. Washington climbs the ladder for the board.
This is where CSUN's got to go. They got to go in transition before that Cardinal defense can set itself.
Washington. A one-man fast break.
Cardinals, que esos son los de enfrente.
Exactamente, este es el Cardinal. Y Louisville, los Cardenales. Si hacemos la...
Este equipo de Stanford está 1 de 7 en este momento en tiros de campo.
Sí, de bien, la manera como levantó el balón y logró superar la defensa. 3 de 3. Los últimos 3 intentos por parte de Louisville.
En el juego, y ahí van llegando los Tigres de Clemson, número 3 de la conferencia, para enfrentar a los renovados Mustang de SMU.
Stojakovic had 58 of the 64 for Cal. Here's Campbell again. That ball's knocked around. It's another off. Stojakovic right now off the screen. He gets a switch with Raynaud. The two best players in the game matched up. And Stojakovic misses a pretty good look.
Here is Hepburn working against Cameron on the switch by the Cardinals. Now here's Raynaud. Watch this. Hepburn. And he landed on. Thing you come away with is the energy is so big.
But that's a reflection of your head coach.
Yep.
And again, we've been around, you know.
Edwards has to hoist. Shot clock violation.
Down low underneath. I like to see the big 7-footers playing with true strength around the basket.
And Maxime Raynaud denies Andre. Couple of much-needed free throws for Stanford. Andre Stojakovic missing, and a long rebound trickles out. Jeremiah Wilkins
there, but he's more effective going inside, really setting the tone and with being an inside presence, and that'll open out his outside game even more.
George not there on the mid-range.
Played a season-high 24 minutes in the loss to Cal on Wednesday. Here is O'Connell over Raynaud, and the rebound by Styles. 5 transfers, 3 freshmen. The Wolfpack have not won a game away from home this season. 0-8 in neutral and a spin cycle. He's got Raynaud on the switch. Raynaud falls. Sellers bothered the shot. Second chance. Last 4 in group, or first 4 out group, as is North Carolina, which beat Pitt. So UNC now one of the first 4 out. Pitt goes. Taylor picked up by Raynaud. Deep 3 over the backboard. Stanford spots last year. You could go to DJ Horn. You could go to DJ Burns. Hill, the Bowling Green transfer, offline.
Has gone ice cold on offense after a really nice start. Salas, step back 3. No. Offensive rebound.
Yeah, again, Stanford giving up the offensive rebound. Been a big story in the second half.
Hildreth spins it in. Along the baseline, Wake Forest.
Why don't we just let everybody else go home and those two can play one-on-one?
Edwards, everything but the finish. Ugutolo can't game. 7-3 and 7-3 in ACC play. A battle for 4th in the league. Boopy Miller, so crafty. So he thought it'd be a
Davis, the freshman, had to go over Raynaud.
Well, I was talking to one of these.
Good defensive possession. Shot clock at 4. Watkins has to throw up a tough one. Young did a nice job. Watkins going at Raynaud. Fade away, turn over him, no, and Sellers with a rebound.
Attack the rack. What a game this young man has had.
Career high 27.
Up with it, got poked away from behind. This time he got that ball down low, gathered, went up with more power around the basket.
There's number 10.
Well, again, on this campus than most universities I've ever been to. You were explaining why to me. I forgot why, but it's small and sweet and right here inside this arena for Ray.
Down this year, and some people are making a big deal out of it, but you see 5 assists so far in the game today. Will fade away jumper, and he'll get the gentle roll.
Believe us, I made $1 million move along his baseline and slapped my shot away.
Salas pulls up. His first basket of the second half.
Here's Andrew Rohde, another guy. Better shooting this year. Really worked hard on that aspect of his game.
Afraid to push.
Rex Steiner.
They're going to have to keep
Burn him everywhere, getting the offensive rebound or the defensive rebound. His first miss, he's human, Ben Braun.
Yeah, I was going to say
6, the lead is 7. Brown got Raynaud in the air, went under him. Blakes comes down with it.
Run. Leggett uses the screen into the lane. Even though he knew a 7'1" shot blocker was between.
Good job defending their sets. Worked hard on that for a long time today and shoot around.
Hunter, no, lock in, yes sir! And
Bamba with the help of Cook, and that was Raynaud bothering that shot, but Supreme Cook gets the...
That enabled them to do that, playing those tough teams. They were able to, get a tough couple challenge games in there, and now they toughened up.
Well, Clark, 24 points, 3 assists tonight. Off a high screen and a deep 3, Matt Beck.
Most improved player in the Pac-12. Stojakovic splits the defender. Left hand, deferred maybe, but the cleanup is there. Now Stojakovic doesn't use the screen and goes right at Raynaud, slips, loses his footing, and out of bounds. Ball goes. Cal's missed their last 5 shots. Stojakovic finally on the board. He averages almost 19 a game. Great afro, had a red afro, it was big. He goes, that thing's kind of out of whack. And it made me laugh, and it loosened me up. Stojakovic down the lane, and it was just a tremendous guy.
No question about it. Thousands of great stories about who he was as a person, and obviously we know who he was as a professional.
And Stanford. Blacksburg inside, no good. Raynaud with a rebound and a foul.
Ball IQ, plays within the game, doesn't force things. Stanford's done a good job of getting to him, and just drills a 3 right there. A nice step back. Not especially. I mean, they came in, played well, great defense down the stretch.
Stojakovic trying to do here, Court.
Well, you're trying to get turnovers, but good luck with that. Stanford's done a great job handling the ball, and then there you see the big fella creating the wall, being a rim protector.
Cal needs to score. They don't have to rush, but they need to do it quickly, if that makes sense. Blackshear blocked by Raynaud.
Blackshear going to the...
Made it look so easy, but I think he still put 2 hands in the ball line as well.
Green. No good there.
Impressive rebound.
Brent Foster couldn't reverse it home, and Blake's right out of the hands of...
Not the man who wanted to check and Brent Foster.
And Herb Sendick going to have 4 new players getting ready to come in for SCU. Adama Alpha ball with the left hand coming up short. And Raynaud.
Darden. Shot clock winding down. Maxime Raynaud blocks the shot. Stanford looking to run up the floor. Brian Moore Jr. is a big-time scorer. Missed the fadeaway. And the rebound grab. Christian Ings weaves his way in, and the scoop. Ings, and Norfolk State has the lead.
I really like it. Norfolk way out on the floor right now.
Pull up in the mid-range, missed by Brian Moore Jr. and Ryan Aguilers. Christian Ings leans in. Maxime Raynaud denies him.
Well, I like Raynaud at the basket block out assignments.
Great movement from UC Davis offensively. DeBrule, foot on the line. Got it.
And Tim, that's over the 7th.
One of his teammates in high school, Chappelle, on this UC Davis team. Johnson steps into a 3, in and out.
A great challenge from Raynaud. I missed that one.
Maxime Raynaud, 7-1. Affects that shot on its way off. And one of the unbelievable things about his...
Walk away with the win, but they were in a fight. And this was a very valuable game for Stanford. and I think they'll take something from
5 for 7 from the floor for Northern Arizona to start this one. Now McLaughlin missing a 3. Carson Tout the offensive rebound.
For the 24-25 season here at Stanford. And that'll be the main man for Denver, Craig, who
Sumlin controls. An elite athlete from Cleveland, Ohio, makes the extra pass, and Gillespie is denied. But look at Sumlin coming on the backside, trying to rates here. Playing in Palo Alto for the Cardinals.
Yeah, your buddy, he's texting you during the game, like, hey, Sousa, get my team playing better, and they are.
If they need any steals or defense like that, all they got has to hurry against Sumlin.
Can I give some credit to that Golden Flashes defense? And look at him getting on that glass and going the other way. I think that was Raynaud again with the big paw block.
I can confirm. Point advantage for Kent State. Bellinger, the trigger man. Puts it for Hornby, who goes right back to him. What was thinking about it, Scott, just like you called, but is rejected. Shot clock spot. The last winning season for CSUN, 2008-2009. That's when the Matadors won the Big West and went to the NCAA tournament. Action underway on the floor.
It's the floor.
And there is a peek at that CSUN starting lineup. Keep your eye on number 7, Keontae Jones. He is different. That's a guy who's different as well. Knocked out of bounds. We see the defense. 8 points in the paint for CSUN already.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Smith liked this little 4-0 run. He'll put him some more length around the basket.
Third block for Raynaud. Might give him 4 if he... Brinson likes his odds against Gieler. Drops it off. Grady Lewis. Another block for Raynaud. Give him 4 officially. Wow. Jones. Out of the corner, it's Washington. Doesn't get...
Este equipo de Stanford está 1 de 7 en este momento en tiros de campo.
Sí, del otro lado.
.7 asistencias en el juego y ahí van llegando los Tigres de Clemson, número 3 de la conferencia, para enfrentar a los renovados Mustang de SMU.
Todo listo para...
And he lost it with contact. And then Gieler couldn't take it away from Campbell. Stojakovic blocked by Raynaud. He chased him down.
What a quick bounce pass. Now Traore to work against Raynaud.
Now this is where Raynaud should absolutely have an advantage. Traore trying to back him down, giving away about 5 inches.
Scott one dribble, Hepburn. Nice pass, Waterman blocked by Raynaud. And that'll get us to a break. Out of there, that was Thompson. Now they'll battle for it. Traore always in the fray for Louisville. To Roos, to Hadley, blocked Raynaud.
And that's the 3rd block of the game by Raynaud, but how?
Edwards floats it. Turkey denied inside by Raynaud. Benny Giegler also out there for Stanford instead of Jalen Blakes. Igutolu disrupted inside. Loose ball caroms back to him, and now Giegler. Edwards finds Cross in the corner. Going baseline. Raynaud disrupted the attempt. Igutolu there for the loose change and the puck. Cross underneath. Cameron rips it away.
Big opportunity for Stanford. They're really, if it's the time you want to play your best basketball, and they're playing some of it right now.
The reverse nowhere close as Maxime Raynaud gets knocked down. And
a big battle down low underneath. I like to see the big 7-footers playing with true strength around the basket.
And Maxime Raynaud denies Andrej Stojakovic. Jovan Blackshirt. Here's DJ Campbell. Denied. Another block for Maxime Raynaud. And then Campbell missed their last 7 shots from the field.
Yeah, Stanford's tightened up the defense.
Madi Sissoko had it stripped.
Oh, I think Akpara came over and got a piece of that.
for Stanford. Georgia Tech still battling injuries. They win the tip here on their home court, where they've won 10 times this season. Shot inside, blocked at the rim.
Or you even see in the...
Up 18, here's Powell. Backdoor cut. Dongo, 2-1. At the buzzer, blocked by Raynaud. It's a positive defense.
There's Jaden Taylor. Second season with NC State after time at Butler, blocked by Raynaud.
One thing you can't do if you're Northern
Syracuse's main issue, as much as the struggles they've had defensively this season, but right now a lid on the bucket. Starling partially blocked. Raynaud saves it in, and it's recovered by Kamen.
It's up the laces. He's going to knock it down. He made 3 in their last game at Carolina.
Little package you showed to start the game. He's showing it up, and now he gets the block shot. So Maxime Raynaud.
My last statement.
And now Stanford in front by 1. And rejected by Raynaud. And here comes Blake's the other way. Doesn't have the numbers. Duke and North Carolina in a wild one. 96-92. Came away with a win. Great block by Raynaud.
And a Brenneman was sitting in that seat.
Yeah. Lays it off for Trimble, and they're going inside. Banging down there. That's great defense. Boy.
Well, and they're figuring, you know, the best way we can do it.
From the Smith Center, R.J. Davis takes it himself. Raynaud blocks it, tips it twice, and then got it back. Shot clock violation.
It's been quiet for a while. The Wall defended well.
Yeah, 2.
Great 1-2 punch with their leading scorer, Maxime Raynaud. Shefflin rejected by Raynaud. And wisely saved. Shoot. Inside to Shefflin. Rejected by Raynaud again. And Shefflin still looking for his first.
40% on his threes.
Yeah, it's a great percentage for a 7-footer, period. End of story.
Stanford 9 for 17 outside the arc, and now the defensive play. Raynaud blocks the shot. Jalen Blake's pushing. It's up. Had a clean look. Bud Clark the rebound. And the diminutive point guard races up the floor. Clark off balance that time, and Stanford finally got to him.
Playing with it doesn't matter if it's in the half court or in transition. Cardinal moving the ball, knocking down shots. Great back cut.
Oh, Joseph met at the rim by Raynaud. And a jump under his wing for that Sports Center. Just a tremendous guy.
No question about it. Thousands of great stories about who he was as a person, and obviously we know who he was as a professional.
And Stojakovic cut off and then blocked by Raynaud. Got it back though. Shot clock on 12 is Blackshear to go. What are you trying to do here, Court?
Well, you're trying to get turnovers, but good luck with that. Stanford's done a great job handling the ball, and then there you see the big fella creating the wall, being a rim protector.
Cal needs to score. They don't have to rush, but they need to do it quickly, if that makes sense. Blackshear blocked by Raynaud.
Blackshear going to the well, a little one.
More dishes. Here comes Harrison. Tried to throw it down, but lost the handle on the way up.
That was an impressive miss.
Troll bodies hit the floor. Shot clock down to 5. Grant Foster with a hand in his face. Raynaud rejects it. Tough to shoot over the top.
O'Neal was open, cutting to the basket. Has his shot blocked by Raynaud. It's been all Cardinal out of the...
Yeah. Even late in the shot clock, the desperation ramps up, and getting a hand on the ball with Stanford. Quickly back and a block. Raynaud right off the glass.
Jelani Darden. Shot clock winding down. Maxime Raynaud blocks the shot. Stanford looking to run up the floor. Raynaud, 11 for Sellers. Christian Ings leans in. Maxime Raynaud denies him.
Well, I like Raynaud at the basket, Roxy. It's
Craig swings it out. Lopez San Vicente for three. Couldn't get it to go. Carr offensive rebound blocked by Raynaud. And then Carr fell to the ground.
Sumlin controls. An elite athlete from Cleveland, Ohio, makes the extra pass, and Gillespie is denied. But look at Sumlin coming up. 19 points, 7 rebounds for the big man. Sullinger drops it off for Hornby, who looks for space against Raynaud. Hammond with the board.
At Jersey one more time to represent your school. So my heart goes out to especially Jones, who played so hard in his senior year tonight and still hit another bucket.
And passer for Stanford. Stojakovic. Here's Sissoko over Raynaud.
What a good start.
Here's Pavlovich. Sissoko, tough finish, he's fouled. With 3:27 to go.
And Louisville's doubled the number on the visitors. Here's Traore in traffic. Ansel the eBay strong to the basket. Couldn't finish it. Cameron collects for Thompson. Now they'll battle for it. Traore always in the fray for Louisville. To Roos, to Hadley, blocked Raynaud.
And that's the third block of the game by
4 to shoot. Chucky lobs for Scott.
That's his chemistry. Great connection.
Oh, great feed by Burton inside the Jai, and a whistle comes in. Irish
going back to perimeter oriented shooting threes. Get the ball back inside. Go to what was working for you.
Here's Jai with a two-hand jam and the foul. Grown.
Edwards floats it. Denied inside by Raynaud. Here for SMU. One of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. Tolu bends the rim.
Well, how about the assist? That's a big-time look.
Lunch. Traore, another offensive rebound. Beautiful pass as Harris found Cross for 2.
That's why second shots are backbreaking.
Matt Cross lobs it inside. It bounces off for Traore, but he stays with it.
Monty Sissoko couldn't have control of the basketball, and Stanford.
Tech still battling injuries. They win the tip here on their home court, where they've won 10 times this season. Shot inside, blocked at the rim.
With a 16-point lead, Georgia Tech can kind of be a little bit more, not loose with the ball, but they can be patient offensively. They don't have to force anything. They have to look for the open opportunity.
Double. His 10th rebound, his 12th career double-double. Already 6th this season. A 4 assists. Hails from Toronto. Attacks. Pass. Finish. Ibrahim Swat. For Georgia Tech left on this possession. Just 7 seconds.
Got to go downhill.
Steve Sutton realized with 4 with 3.
He got stopped at the rim. Got his own miss. Now Johnson 3, way off the mark. Ball tipped back again. Johnson pass deflected and stolen away. This time sort of swarmed. Gets out of trouble. Shot clock at 10. Now Raynaud steals.
SMU's having right now. They're trying to lead Raynaud one-on-one and force the other guy to create offense. Wow.
One-handed hammer, Samet Yigatolu. Steals a second possession. Can they score? Is the question. I feel like a bucket here really turn the tide and they give it away.
By you, and just if you can't get the dunk, be satisfied with 2 free throws.
Raynaud's first foul. Ewan fouled on the other end. An easy layup miss.
Articulate, just wants to win, loves playing for the Cardinals.
Kid, kind of off balance, but chucks that one in. There's the first basket from third jump shot that's been blocked by Miami in this first half. Schwartz trailing 3, too strong. Rebound, and the touch pass was deflected. Smith runs a pretty tight ship. Leans on those starting 5. Pass down low for the layup.
Well, there's some good sharing of the basketball. Singing praises.
Have a lot of film to watch on him to get a scouting report, and very athletic guy. You know, you were talking about, I mean, this Stanford team can score the ball. Their side, really skilled in the paint area.
Washington kicks it out to Ian Jackson. And Carolina led by Davis. Gonna dump it down low. That's a nice move there in the lane by Washington. And now Stanford in front by 1. And rejected by Raynaud. And here comes Blake's the other way.
At the end of the season, and that was just really a solid find by Blake's.
After the rejection, Cadeau comes away.
Surprised to have him take threes. He can shoot it.
Shoot. Leaves it for the wall. The wall lays it in, and the Hokies are on the board.
No, that's what
handle it.
No, that was just a really a good look, and that's got to be a catch and a finish right there.
I should have just looked up for the answer.
You should have.
But it took me a little longer, but you didn't tell me. I got it correct.
That was right. I was going to give you a clue if you didn't come up with it. Corey putting together a nice great 1-2 punch with their leading scorer, Maxime Raynaud. Shefflin rejected by Raynaud. Man.
I think your point on role definitions interesting.
Not so much role, but like role within the offense.
Yep. To try this nice pass inside, and Sissoko couldn't finish it.
Just 3 of 7 from the charity stripe. Corey Wells played NAIA ball for 4 years. Goes out.
Done well with prosperity, Kevin. They got to show that they can handle this.
Good look inside. Welling feeding Nelson. Carter Welling, pretty good passer.
Yeah, table here. Clock to 6 with 5. Backdoor. Kuntz again. And running out.
Team that was receiving AP top 25 votes at the start of the year.
Good pass. Great cut. Great spacing.
More dishes. Here comes Harrison. Tried to throw it down, but lost the handle on the way up. 12 ties, 8 lead changes. Brent Foster out of control. Brennan on the offensive glass puts it home.
Foster, like you said, couldn't find his.
O'Neal was open, cutting to the basket. Has his shot blocked by Raynaud. It's been all
on Friday and finish up this West Coast trip playing UC Davis. A turnover by the Spartans.
You can see couldn't see him.
Maxime Raynaud the steal, then it's off the foot. And
a lot of contact down low. That one went out of play.
Jaden Jackson gets inside, powering his way up, and the miss from Ali Ragab and Stanford.
The key, there was no one there moving without the basketball.
Largest lead for Stanford at 7. Raynaud! No!
Hornby, one of the seniors on this squad. They are the heartbeat of this team. That was halfway down, doesn't fall. And there is a peek at that CSUN starting lineup. Keep your eye on number 7, Keontae Jones. He is different. That's a guy who's different as well. Knocked out of bounds for CSUN already.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Smith liked this little 4-0 running. He'll put him some more length around the basket.
Third block for Raynaud.
Mike's off of their fingers and toes and everything else. They can't seem to get a handle on this rock.
Maybe there's too much air in it. Overinflated basketballs can be... Brinson likes his odds against Gieler. Drops it off. Grady Lewis. Another block for Raynaud. Give him 4.
Stojakovic has a potential screening.
Stojakovic breaks late to the basket. Quick bounce pass. Now Traore to work against Raynaud.
Now this is where Raynaud should absolutely have an advantage. Traore trying to back him down, giving away about 5 inches.
Ended up putting up a rush shot.
SMU secures a key stop. Igatolu lost the handle. Oh! This is Stanford's penultimate regular season home game. SMU will visit Saturday. Venning misses, gets it back, and loses. Donald Hand. Back to the big fella. Venning leans in on Raynaud and missed it short.
That was good defense, but
Stanford grows its lead to 20 with the Blake's bucket out of the break. Venning the spin, couldn't wrap it in. Brown tried to tap it back.
That one, that's huge.
A post touch for Venning. And he scores over the top of Maxime Raynaud.
Oh, that's a tough shot, big Raider.
And Stanford balloons the lead back to 20. Venning comes up short.
Not the same. You're going up over Raynaud.
The grad transfer from Michigan State. Sissoko lobs it over Maxime Raynaud, and then Raynaud lost the rebound out of bounds. Shots from the field.
Yeah, Stanford's tightened up the defense.
Marty Sissoko had it stripped.
Oh, I think Akpara came over and got a piece of that.
Lee Dort backing his way in. And Dort goes to the basket.
That was a big man.
At USC last year. As the teardrop wouldn't go for Ritas Petritis, Lee Dort the offensive rebound. Dort goes back up and misses. And Gieler claims it for Stanford, but boy, they love Andres Stojakovic here, don't they?
Giving it to him.
Wolfpack trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Middlebrooks too strong. The key for Middlebrooks is fighting.
And they got to create those driving opportunities where you get a chance at the rim, or if the defense helps, you get a drive and kick.
Middlebrooks, no. Battle for the board. One.
Good call by Kyle Smith. Mix it up. Reed backing his way in against Raynaud. Elevates. Foul. Reed down low. Trying to clear out. Spin move. Had his shot blocked. No. A foul. Lefton. Down low. Reed under the bucket. Another foul against Stanford. And Efton Reed.
Forcing SMU to play in the half-court set, though. This is a Mustangs team that leads the ACC in scoring. They want to play at a high tempo. They want to turn this into a track meet. Igatolu backing down Raynaud. Great move, but it rolls off the rim. No good. Everything but the fit.
They can get to the rim. And then an added bonus now, they're playing through Igatolu. He's going to foul there. I think Raynaud hooked his arm and got away with one.
Shot clock down to 8. Igatolu going at Raynaud. And a foul called.
You have to try to find a way to get the ball inside the Lampkin. Let him challenge Raynaud in the one-on-one and see if he can get some things going. Nice spin move, but he turns it over. Right now, 5, maybe 6 teams from this conference looking to get a bid.
Inside, broken up by Ray.
What do you think they eat or drink at 1 o'clock? Paris? Friday night?
Good wine.
Wine, yeah.
You are no good. Quick turnaround.
Yeah. Block where he likes his left shoulder turns to his right hand hook.
A couple changes. Miami's starting lineup has varied here. Looked to me like a trap.
Bench and found him.
Stinson was committed to Washington State and Kyle Smith before Kyle took this job. Kidd. Nice move.
Yeah, how about that? I understand Raynaud now.
Shot from Jalen Blakes.
You call that one a horse, don't you?
You have to call it. Kidd, no good. Rebound, Raynaud.
Look at Raynaud attacking.
Kidd down low, trying to spin around Raynaud. Ball knocked out of bounds. Stanford ball.
Lays it off for Trimble, and they're going inside. Banging down there. That's great defense. Boy.
Well, and they're figuring, one of the Tri-Cities along with Kennewick and Richland. Reed backing down Raynaud, and that's a smart move there by Reed. You know he's got the 2 fouls.
Specialist Rex Steiner, Jaden Shoot, Toby Lawal, and Malizo Poteet, who had the game winner off here, but the game winner 3-point play.
Raynaud away from the rim.
Poteet trying to go at the bigger Raynaud. The left-hand hook, no good. He's going over a lot of size there.
Well, his game.
And someone needs to identify number 13. Poteet knocked down Raynaud and then had the easy dunk.
Well, I thought, Dave, he is a phenomenal three-point shooter if you give him an open look.
Poteet right over Raynaud.
Yeah, and he kind of let him.
With their first lead since it was 4-2, 2 minutes into the game. Wessler went down hard.
For me.
Poteet took a long time, but
competing every game.
Poteet goes right at Raynaud.
Well, that's a tough shot right in the grill.
Poteet and Raynaud. Raynaud did a nice job of keeping his feet.
With an ankle sprain, lots of options on the offensive end for Pittsburgh this year. One of them is Cam Corrin, the Florida
State. A political answer where he talked about, well, you know, I did the best I could do in my role. But I know underneath the competitor that he is, as we see Cam Corrin with the back to the bucket.
Against Maxime Raynaud. What does Stanford need to do to get Raynaud back involved offensively? They need his scoring.
They need his scoring, but they're going to need someone else to make up.
Sometimes good offense just beat good defense. Give credit to Raynaud there for the tough turnaround jumper.
Lock-in, creating space, rims out. Second chance. Inside to Shefflin. Rejected by Raynaud again, and Shefflin still looking. 1 point Stanford lead. Less than 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Wiggins. Tough to. Lock-in thought about it. 4 to shoot. Lock-in going to work on the Frenchman. And puts it home.
Today, obviously, they just weren't very comfortable based on what Clemson can do.
Oh, what a floater by Miles Foster, the Illinois bench.
A very productive bench. This is Supreme Cook off the bench, trying to force Raynaud back inside, and he does that and scores.
Now's out of a timeout, so you wonder if
from a scoring standpoint, basically non-productive in the last 3. They go back to Cook. And that's a foul on Brandon Angel, his first.
Earlier, so really tough to guard. And who do you put on him based on all that?
Biddle wins that high jump contest.
George going right at Raynaud, but got stuck under the hoop.
And I like that.
Try to get back to it when we have a break.
Welling, face up.
What the hell, boy?
The teams have come back on his team. He's concerned, and he wants the momentum to stop.
Keeler and Stinson in. Well defended there by
rebound. Versatile defender. Scores it.
Luke Ward, the Oregon transfer. And the Duke Bennett off the window and in. Brad Foster down the lane. Well, feed it to Brennan with a turnaround right-hand shot rolling off. Sticks with it.
Broncos came to find Steve Nash from up in British Columbia, Canada, to play for the Broncos. 4 to shoot, and it's taken away. Here.
Oakland Fort. To Carson Tout on the block. And the step back. And the rebound underneath. Missing a put in his way in. Here's Richard at the arc. Kendrick DeLuna spinning and over Raynaud. Can't get the roll. The last touch by Cal State Fuller. Kendrick DeLuna trying to create. Well defended by Maxime Raynaud inside. Osiah Sellers the rebound. In and out. And a battle for the rebound, and Zion Richardson controls for the Titans. And a hustle.
All right, and I've known him his whole career. He's nothing but a winner. He's developed programs wherever he's been.
And the rebound, Maxime Raynaud and Stanford. Knocked Knocked away by Raynaud, who dives for the loose ball, and Stanford coming
to make the best of your opportunities. He's really got a lot to look forward to here.
Zach Vicentin inside. And we got a wedgie.
Already.
Akpara starting the second half with Aiden Kamen. 3 fouls will come off the bench for Kyle Smith. And Maxime Raynaud with a foul and an and one chance in the ball knocked away, and Maxime Raynaud, having spent a couple of good years here up on the farm. And in the lane, short from Kendrick DeLuna. And there's a whistle. 9 in the opener for Agarwal. He's got 5 in this one. And the foul inside will put Kendrick DeLuna at the line for the Titans. Zach Vicentin walled off by Raynaud. And it pops out, and Maxime Raynaud the rebound.
So far, so good.
5+ minute scoring drought for Denver. Stanford's on a 15-2 run. That'll help.
Trigger, so he gets opportunity to get downhill.
14 for Raynaud. Lopez San Vicente, the fadeaway.
San Vicente
is inside. Solinger finds Hornby. And again, the two connect for another field goal.
To stop the ball from being side to side. That's impressive for a guy 6'11".
Got clocks at 5. Logo 3 for Sullinger, just short. Gets his own rebound. Season for CSUN 2008-2009. That's when the Matadors won the Big West and went to the NCAA tournament. Action underway on the floor. Out of the corner, it's Washington. Doesn't get the roll.
El 8 de marzo fue cuando le apaleó Louisville, le atropelló a Stanford. Nada que ver con el día de hoy, cuando tremendo triple ahí de Hepburn.
Let's see who else isn't going to play and convince the healthiest to grit it out.
Campbell over Raynaud, misses a 3, and Stanford.
42 years. You're lining up your big call for him.
Here's Tucker. Cal, every time they miss, they seem to get the ball back. And a 3 missed by Campbell, and finally a defensive.
And let's see the handoff. Edwards right back for Waterman. He'll launch a 3 out of the corner. That's good. Noah Waterman.
Davis catch and shoot. 9.
Notre Dame has a few young guys that could really develop into some good players. Cole Surter, you got Garrett Sundra, who's a 6'11".
For this first-year staff that replaced 6 of the top 7 scorers from a year ago. Burton from way downtown. Down. Notre Dame 5 of 15. Here's a Laco. Knesny. Davis, corner 3. Oh, yeah!
Cross, backs in Sellers. Out to Oquendo. And a foul underneath.
With the right hand, but great touch for a 7-footer.
You know, right now, if you're Kyle, right now, the coach Smith, you just hope that you can get this to 10. If you can go in
off the bench.
You know, they've done all right from 3-point territory. They made 7 of them. Here's Flagg to try 1, but too strong. Knipple with the rebound. Proctor back for Flagg, open again, and give him 3.
Don't give him 2 up.
He is 0 for 7. Brown will let it fly and hit the 3. Malik Brown.
Team and having those bigs down low.
Nathan George is the leader, and everybody else is playing their role, and they're gritty, they're physical, they're not afraid to get on the.
George with 6, now with a 5, step back kick, Dongo 3, lets it fly, 2 strong rebounds. Blake's
up and make an impact, and sometimes that's hard for guys to come in and play a role that they're not used to playing.
7 for Stinson. That's a career high. That one rimmed out for Styles. Here comes Hill. 3, 2, kicks to the corner. Shot on the way. It rims out.
Had his pass deflected, but got it back. Now feeds to Reed. Right back to Johnson for 3. No good. Reed on the offensive glass.
It's for Stanford. Just no help around him. Wide open 3. How about it? Cement Igitolu. But that's a win that if North Carolina can pull it off on the road, they would boost their resume after a disappointing start to their campaign. They can all change and
try a little wrinkle with their 1-3-1.
Playing his former coach and down 20 on the road. Edwards looking for more offensive rebound.
When it switches, it's an added factor to this guard play.
A logo 3. Harris left it short. And a
Davis, the freshman, pushing it. Bull Bowens, the trailer. Watkins went up hot. Need to.
See if they can get some easy buckets against his Stanford defense. Cleveland with the block shot. Now a 3 right side. That was way off the mark for Brandon Johnson.
Phenomenal things up and around and over the rim, but that was every bit as good as anything I saw him do.
Yeah, hear that, MJ? Try that. Offensive rebound, put basketball.
And they got shooters 1 through 5 that can space the floor.
Left side jumper. That one's good. Just a 2 along 2. Raynaud.
To see him blossom there.
Great foul. The freshman trying to go along the baseline. And how about that shot? Banking it in. Blakes is their best on-ball defender. Parker Frederickson. Spillers. Back iron on the 3. Just 5 of 7.
And what Raynaud could do if he really wanted to. McNeely, deep 3. A one and done. Look at the communication, and you can hear Raynaud. His voice is the loudest, even in a loud gym. Saunders hits the shot clock.
Burnham left open, and Burnham hits another 3. He's got 3 of them.
Like a nifty pass received by Guillermo Diaz-Grant.
There it is.
To his twin brother.
There it is. I'm trying to tell you, that's the one you want shooting the 3.
I said Geller.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's actually Gill.
That's all right.
Well, it's not.
But that's all right.
Boy, Guillermo Diaz-Grant.
Causing the deflection. That has been the story of the basketball game here for the Tigers.
14 steals. Wiggins.
Heat check.
Yes, sir.
Action for other people, but if you don't get out there, he is going to knock down 3. Shoot 39% so far this year. Ryan Agarwal, the rebound. Go in there looking for fouls, and they don't get it because they're not trying to score. They're just trying to get the foul. Turns into a bad shot as Bartholomew, another 3. Going what Oregon's doing. They're leaving him because they got 2 on Raynaud down in the paint.
Here's Angel. Loves that spot. And he hits the 3. On New Year's Day, Oregon in the Rose Bowl. Then you're going to get Illinois, Oregon on January 2nd in Eugene.
Haas Pavilion against Cal when he had 20 against the Golden Bears, making a couple of 3s. And spread on the floor, Merrimack, and it rattles in a 3 from Brian. Back to a double-digit lead. Inside 7 minutes. Left open, Ty Dorsett missing a 3, and Osiah Sellers the rebound for the Cardinals. Devin Savage missing a 3, and the rebound, there's Osiah Sellers.
Stojakovic misses everything. Petrides for 3. Over Raynaud, no good, but Sissoko with an offense.
Probably came back, but they'll take it if they can get it.
Well, and he's got to make something happen. And
Well contested.
Two guys stopping the basketball in penetration and just making the simple pass, simple shot.
Fifth made three for Stanford. Fifth made three for Utah Valley.
Going into every game, he's at the top of the scouting report. He's got Stanford back in the zone again, Greg. Nobody get out to the corner. Got a little bit fortunate there.
Cal Poly will take 2 times, 3 times before you put that ball up. We're seeing that here for the Mustangs. Drive and kick. Open look on the corner. An air ball. Shot clock did not reset. And out the Mustangs. Switching hands. An air ball there. Kick out. And the 3-ball rattles in. Scored for Owen Kuntz. And Tarlach posting now against Gieler. Draws everybody. The kick from 3. All net. Rattle it home for Peter.
A little bit. And this is where you get a boy up to the high post to run things out of there. He's not a threat from there. Uh-oh.
He's not?
Well.
7 to shoot. Napper's got to hurry. Pump fake. Throwing to Kosi. His rainbow is good over the outstretched arm of Raynaud.
Yeah, great. Be a very good basketball game.
Inside of 13 minutes, Tilly will try the triple. Missed, rebounded by Johnny O'Neal, and Johnny.
The end of the shot clock, and then
1 for 17. That has not been a bright spot for the Stanford Cardinal.
Jalen Myers missing a 3. Ryan Agarwal.
Good substitution by Kyle Smith and his staff, knowing who to put in the game.
At the foul line, Jalen Myers the miss, and deflected by Blakes, but chased back down by Christian Ings. And a corner 3 off the mark from
effort to defend, then he's right by you for a foul.
Second team foul, first on Gieler. In the corner, 3 for Chappelle. Good. 6'9" wing from LA.
Quick, he can get by you, but he doesn't take too much. He pulls up and hits the 2.
Chappelle, rhythm 3 to Gieler. Talking to Kyle Smith this week.
And the first points for Caleb Brown from the floor.
Front court. Carr, Lopez San Vicente using that pump fake again. Extra pass, rhythm 3. Ado Acra's off.